Good evening. This is Open Topics with Don Armando, and I'm your host, Don Armando Robles. So, this is Open Topics for Wednesday. And if you haven't, subscribe, like, and subscribe, and show your love to my channel. Good evening, Don Jose. How you doing? That's good. So, it looks like Mr. West is in a complicated debacle right now. So, I guess he's having a lot of negative energy. So, if any of us were to tell him anything positive, what can he actually do to keep positive? Good evening, Don Jose.
Good evening. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for allowing me on your platform.
Thank you. Yeah, I just got home from the gym, so it's just that I guess the raging topic is Mr. West and whoever's backing out on doing a deal with him just because he said something about certain financially secure people in the United States and Europe. Cannot really say that because I might get doxed or what else maybe. So I just like to use the term financially protected in respect to who's running the show or what have you.
Mhm. Well, we're living in a time that we have to be careful of what we say because if we're not careful, next thing you know it, we could be losing support or you can lose sponsors or you could even have your channel possibly deleted if you're not
Exactly.
careful.
Yep.
I mean, I happen to know one person who a couple of weeks ago, um, his YouTube channel was deleted for violation of the guidelines. And he has thus created a new YouTube channel. Um, but the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is, but the fact of the matter is, you have to be responsible with what you say or what you do on your platforms.
Yes. Yeah, you have to because it's like since we have whatever it's called, can't if it's on if with the cancel cultures and everything like that. And since a lot of people are being affected, and we're living in a time where the Me Too movement is strong, you have to really tread on light water on what's going on within this country and abroad also, because whatever we do will will affect the whole world, believe it or not.
Hmm. Yeah. In fact, I recall my first live stream that I did.
Hmm.
Um, it was regarding is there censorship in YouTube,
Hmm.
and we have to conclude that yes, there is, because well, supposedly, and I said, but supposedly, there's free speech.
Right.
Um, you know, it all depends who's saying it and in what circumstances.
Yeah.
I see we have someone named Cannibalistic Aztecs who enter a couple of
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, I see that also.
Hmm.
I mean, if cannibalistic Aztecs is ready to come up, I would like to hear his voice and to see what his views are on anything.
Yeah.
But the matter of but tonight's topic is on how to stay positive during a negative situation. So I'm using Mr. Kanye West's situation right now, because with all these financial backers turning literally financially turning their backs to Kanye, it could actually be bad for his mental health, or it could backfire on him personally.
Hmm. Yeah. But what's very important about being positive in a negative in a situation, um, you have to be mindful of who you are and keep a proper perspective on things.
Right.
I mean, when you think about what has happened in 2020 with the COVID 19 pandemic and how so many people have lost loved ones and how so many people were affected due to loss of jobs, reduced wages, the inability to pay their rent and their mortgages and what have you, and also the separation from loved ones and not able to do the things that we used to take for granted prior to
Yeah.
2020, both theater and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it is. And also, there's been a great need of mental health services to deal with all these things because, I mean, we have never dealt with a health crisis such as COVID 19.
Right. And it just it's just crazy on how a lot of how a lot of stuff has affected loved ones, friends, and during the COVID-19 pandemic. And certain people can say that okay, that COVID-19 brought the best out of people, but then certain people can say that COVID-19 brought the worst out of people.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, when you take a look, there's been an up increase in um, domestic violence. There's been an increase of depression. There's been an increase of self self deletion. So
Yes.
it's been a lot to deal with.
Hmm.
I mean, it was during this health crisis that I decided to come up with my YouTube channel as a form of diversion, also to provide some information and a platform for everyone to share their views.
Yes.
But, now, I will ask the people that watching this stream, please make sure that you hit the like button as you come in. It doesn't hurt you and doesn't cost you anything, but it does help with the algorithm. Okay, and just I will ask also to spread the word regarding Don Amando's channel.
Thank you, Don Jose.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Um, a question I have to ask you.
Yes,
Did you upgrade to the StreamYard package yet, or you haven't?
yes, I did. I have I have the one where I can have up to 9 guests on my platform.
Okay. I mean, I'm thinking about it because I'm gonna have a current trip going to New York next month.
Hmm.
Um, I'm actually just I'm actually just weighing my options depending on how my urban interview series goes because I've been trying to talk to a lot of artists in the Dominican Republic, but some artists that I talk to, I could only talk through WhatsApp or Instagram because StreamYard and the connection where some of the artists live in the Dominican Republic, it does not really coincide with anything because I was supposed to talk to an artist last Friday. He was in the back channel, but he couldn't get his camera or sound to work. So they have
Yeah,
it's like a lot of connection issues out there in the Dominican Republic. Depending on what areas these urban artists lives in.
yeah. I think if they are in the mountains somewhere, that the Wi-Fi signal may be weak, so that might be a factor.
Hmm. That might be,
So yeah,
or or it depends on how should I say it actually depends on certain towns also, not even the mountains. It could be um a place which is not really near the city or whatsoever. So sometimes certain people don't really have connections at all. They just only have their phones. So some phone plans out in DR is just not like here.
yeah. And the problem with StreamYard using your phone, I mean, it's good if you're gonna do a short stream. But if you're talking about doing a live stream with your phone, it's very limited to what you can do, and not everyone is tech savvy enough to share know how to share the link using StreamYard from their phones.
Right.
So that's something that has to be taken into consideration. But
Hmm.
well, what you take regarding Kanye West?
Well, it's like this. I'm very mixed about it because I I do. It's like, which a lot of people don't understand, is that there's actually been that he's actually was talking about his dissatisfaction with Adidas and other things before he made his statements. So while certain people are just clowning on how he's not a quote unquote billionaire anymore, but then there's a lot of people who are saying that he actually retained his rights as far as his music company, as far as his designs on Yeezys and the patents or whatever. And I guess certain stuff that he has done, and he has certain businesses too, which a lot of people do not know.
Mhm.
Certain people could say that all these companies who are turning their backs on him might be a boon because he actually retains ownership of his creation and his music
Mhm.
if he decides to put out any.
Yeah, and one thing we need to keep this in perspective. I mean, it wasn't like he actually physically assaulted someone like Will Smith did to that other guy in the Oscars last this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you actually look at it, right? I mean, cancel culture was just a part of that. But if if Will Smith actually knows the right people,
Okay. Okay. Understood. Yeah. Yeah,
all right.
because
All
unfortunately,
right.
yeah, unfortunately, that's reality. Sometimes you could have some music accident blasting away, and then next thing you know, you can get hit with a copyright strike. That's true.
Yeah. So that's what most of these most of these avenues and everything, a lot of people are starting to say that a lot of these companies was never for blacks or Hispanics either way. So it's just a crazy time that we're actually living in.
Yeah, that is true. And also, you have many people. in these YouTube streets, that they treat their channels as an echo channel, and if anyone dares to enter a different point of view, they are immediately blocked and not allowed to enter their platforms.
Right.
So it's like, are you that weak that you cannot hear an opposing point of view? You're that insecure that you have to block someone?
Oh yeah, trust me. I mean, it's not even about being insecure or anything like that.
Hmm.
It's about a perceived notion of power. Let me explain.
Yeah.
Certain people, they're YouTube creators or whatever the case may be, right? So since they have like a little power that they think that they have, they're like, okay, if this point of view is not welcoming to me or anything like that, because sometimes their point of view is actually crap if you actually look at it. If, but then if you have an opposing view, which is not going towards your narrative, instead of going and arguing your point, you could actually block somebody and you could feel all powerful. And the fact is you don't really control the narrative when you do that. You're just making
Hmm.
yourself look at. And I
Yeah.
was up on Fighters channel earlier, and and I seen one of the same guys that's that he thinks that he is so sure of what I am not, right? So in case I'm not gonna go on Fighters channel because you have certain people who are prejudiced already about what I am
Hmm.
or who I perceive myself to be, or their preconceived notion of who I am. So, well, shout out to Lin XO. Welcome to my chat. This is Open Topics with Don Armando. All right. But I was saying that they have their preconceived notion of what or who I am. So I was
Hmm.
on Fighters channel. I was like, okay. I went up and I tagged this guy. I was like, okay, so come to my channel. And if you're so sure on what I'm not, go and please. I'm just saying, bring receipts. Bring something credible to your argument to see or try to convince me of what I'm not. I want to see the receipts because I hear a lot of talking and a lot of so-called fake scholars telling me that they could revoke my card or whatsoever the case may be. I went up and I laid out all the evidence, but yet they're they're actually historically incorrect. So if they were so adamant on what I am not, I'm I'm putting it out there. Bring the receipts. I want to see receipts. I got my receipts. I want to see theirs.
Hmm. Well, unfortunately, Don Armando, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like it doesn't because you know.
Well, I think a perfect example of that is on Radical's last stream earlier
Yeah,
this week. There were certain individuals on the panel. was trying to dispute what was being said by both Radical and Denise. So, unfortunately, when questioned to back up their evidence, their data, or their hypothesis, they
Right.
went mute like crickets.
Yeah. The same way when I actually showed a picture of my father, they want to try to control the narrative to say, oh, what I am not, right? But then when I showed a picture of my father, all these of me and my father, all these so-called freedom fighters or whatever the heck they call themselves, they don't they never they didn't say anything. But yet they just want to try to they want to try to gaslight and focus on what my mother was. But yet when I went up and I told about my father, none of these people actually said anything. I wonder why.
Hmm. I think what happened was you called their bluff regarding their lack of knowledge.
Right?
Okay. Now, I'm going to be the first one to admit, okay, there'll be times when I would not join a panel because I don't have knowledge uh, to talk about it in an intelligent way. So, what I would rather do is just stay in the background and get the information from those on the panel. I'm not going to take up space and take up time and talking about stuff I know absolutely, positively nothing about.
Right.
But unfortunately, not everyone uses logic.
Common
People,
sense.
okay, or as I like to call it, uncommon sense, which is the name of my channel.
Exactly.
So, you know, people are going to um, spread a narrative based on what they say. But when you ask the individuals to actually back it up with evidence, next thing you know it, they're not saying they're going to do two things. Either they're going to be mute or they're going to try to move the goalpost.
Right.
Okay. And I've seen this quite a few times. Okay.
Yes. I mean, yes, Lynn. They actually try to, since I am who I am and I speak a certain way, to certain Latinos in the United States or wherever will think that I am faking on who I am. And I've seen this several times in my life. But yet, you have certain people who actually accept what I have to say. But certain people, since they have a hidden agenda, and to say this, the Hispanista agenda has been going strong, believe it or not, Don Jose, for like 20 some odd years. It was just a little bit. Now this movement has actually grown. And it's now to the point that you have Dominican Hispanistas that are trying to go against Afro Dominicans and and African Americans in the United States because in their minds they believe that all that the ones who are uneducated they believe that most African Americans are supporting Haiti. So they're trying to so the racist Hispanistas they're trying to equate African Americans to Haitians, and they're trying to spread the lie that African Americans are the enemy of the United States. And that's why you have certain people trying to call men degenerates and all this other stuff. If a man has fun in the Dominican Republic and, meet a woman, that person is now a degenerate. But you don't call the people that actually steal from tourists degenerates. So therefore, I hear a lot of people that they want to call people degenerates and pieces of crap and everything. They want to use a whole bunch of stuff to make it seem that they're super political when the fact is they're not, and their their agenda, they don't really have an agenda, because if you're gonna go fight for a nation or anything like that, I don't hear nothing about how you're gonna help people agriculturally and business wise. I don't understand. I don't see anybody talking about the laws that need to be passed or what to do to enforce these laws. I don't hear if a country goes to shortage, what can you do agriculturally to feed your people? How many gross domestic stock of animals you have to feed your people? What products are you going to grow to feed your people? With all these guys who actually say that they're freedom fighters, I don't get it. I don't see not one of them have a plan for a country. And on top of this, they believe that all of Latin America should follow the far right aspect of America because it served America so good. But if they actually knew the history, I'm talking about Central South America and certain countries in the Caribbean, the history of the United States, would you ever bring that philosophy to Latin America? And you would think that it would be more successful or less successful? That's what I want to know. Because I don't see a
Um,
solid plan around here.
See, what some of these Hispanotypes, or as I like to call them, the mentally and intellectually challenged, fail
Yeah.
to understand is, first of all, when you think about the origin of the United States and how it was created, racism was a huge part of the society even before the founding of this country, going back to 1619 when the so-called had the first group of so-called indentured servants. So, and also, and at least as far as the Caribbean countries in the Caribbean, because let's keep it clear, Latinos from the Caribbean are different from Latinos, say, from Central America, and we're different from Latinos from South America because their situations are totally different. We're not so hung up as far as our phenotypes is concerned because we all know for a fact that our culture comes from Spain, Africa, and the indigenous people. Okay.
Well,
And I remember, go ahead.
not to interrupt you, Don Jose. I have to say this to Lynn. I understand. I kind of understand about what you're saying, Lynn. So therefore, my channel also is to make people who actually have those types of backgrounds not to feel as an outsider, because I actually know what certain people are going through. I have friends who didn't grow with their Hispanic side or don't know their Hispanic side, and I'm trying to be like a beacon of education So therefore they could actually accept who they are and learn the history and everything like that. So therefore they could actually have the strength to say, I am not an outsider. I know who I am. Even though I did not grow with that part of my family, I still embrace on who my father or who my mother was. So my channel, I could actually say this, Lynn, you're welcome in our community also. You're not an outsider. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And I just want to let Lynn know that here on this platform, um, everybody is welcome here. Okay. As long as you keep it respectable and there is an interchange of information, that's the main thing. So there's no. I just want to make sure that you don't have to feel like an outsider. But to continue my point, it's just that the history of the Caribbean Latinos is totally different from the United States because we base on ourselves based on our nationality, not our phenotype. And I recall uh, one time on Radical's channel, there was an issue where a person was talking about how some of the women have to resort to prostitution to support themselves. And one thing I make it a point is that, first of all, there is a great deal of poverty in the Dominican Republic. And when everything is said and done, you have to do whatever you can to survive. So I asked this individual, what is your solution when it comes to poverty in the Dominican Republic? And his response was crickets.
Yeah, that's all I see because I see what I see is a lot of talk and a lot of preconceived notions. Before anything, I would like to introduce my Puerto Rican brother, the guy who lives in the South, the guy that loves warm climate. Here goes introvert Boricua, Ramon. Oh,
Oops. Good
Wepa.
evening. Actually,
Hey.
he's a member of the Golden Spear.
No, 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 no. Don't start with that, Jose. Don't start with that. Hey, Armando. Thanks
Good
for having
evening,
me
Mamon.
on the on the panel. No, 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 no. I'm in the south. It's still nice and warm. It's a little chilly. It's just a tiny little bit chilly in the mornings, but that's because I have to leave home when it's still dark outside. And but it does get warm still during the day. I'm happy about that. So nah. No, no, I don't want to be in no golden spear. You can have it, sir. Yeah,
yeah.
Armando, I
Okay.
was I was actually trying to. I thought that I would do an open topics myself, but damn, you beat me to the punch. So I might as well just join.
Yeah, because originally I was about to have my stream on Monday, but since I actually came late from the gym and then I had to do certain stuff with between Monday and Tuesday, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna make this Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make this Wednesday, and then Friday I'm just gonna have my urban movement, which I am trying to
Hmm.
actually talk to certain artists
Yes.
to to actually talk about the history of the urban movement in New York and in the Dominican Republic. So therefore,
Hmm.
we won't try and tell. So we could try to tell the younger artists not to follow in our mistakes, because I see like the same narrative again and again. And my point is that it's getting very whack. I'm gonna be honest. It's
Hmm.
getting very whack when you see a whole bunch of young artists. They're almost at the point of getting signed or making a making a world tour or whatever the case may be. And then whoop de doo, for some reason or another, they get arrested. And then when they do get arrested and then they have to have a case or whatever the case may be, all the money that a lot of people are bragging about that they had in their records and in their
Hmm.
Instagram or whatever the case may be, they don't even have enough money, enough decent money to actually get a lawyer, get
Hmm.
or get good representation so you could actually have a fighting chance to beat this case. So it's very crazy on how a lot of negative situations I'm talking about as far as the Dominican urban movement, which I have seen. I'm not going to talk about these cases because I know a lot of the parties that have gone through this. So my
Hmm.
thing is that I just want to try to create a bridge for the older generation and the younger generation. So therefore, we could actually stop if people who are artists or they want to be street artists, keep it in the artist level. I'm tired of seeing my people getting deported. I'm tired of seeing a whole bunch of young men dying over record beefs or street beefs that nobody shouldn't be passing away from. It's crazy.
Hmm. No, but when it comes to what you were saying about what happens to these possibly up and coming artists, it's just it's that you will have to go all the way back to NWA, because a lot of these guys, they will talk about what they were talking about in the records, but they were not really living that. Maybe the one that was kind of living that lifestyle when it comes to doing things on the streets, it will have been Ece, and he was the one who was able to get the money to start the Ruthless Records. You know the story. You know the story when
Yeah.
it comes to but the other guys, they didn't necessarily live like that. I mean, definitely not Dr. Dre. And absolutely not when it comes to Ice Cube. Ice Cube came from a two-parent home, and he was able to stay away from trouble, and he was very good at portraying a certain persona when it comes to the records. But I don't recall him ever being in trouble. He maybe Dr. Dre might have gotten in trouble. Well, it's in the movie when
Um,
the cops had to chase him down,
later
and
in the movie, whatsoever the case may be, he had gotten he had run the foul of the law like several times, but then they were just talking about NWA. So I guess while he was in the time of NWA,
Mhm.
he didn't do whatever the case
No,
may be.
yeah, the thing is that a lot of these guys, when they were starting out with the gangster rap, they didn't necessarily live that life. There were some that may have done a little something, but they were able to hide it very well, and they didn't get caught. But what seems to be happening with some of these young guys today is that they may have been involved in something in the streets, but they can't keep their mouth shut about it, and they can't help but putting it all out on some kind of platform, social media. They just can't keep their mouth shut, and all the police has to do when they see them as some kind of a suspect or something, they just go through their social media, and they can get all the evidence that they need. So it's just that they're not being very good at keeping quiet. That they're what is it called? Snitching on themselves.
Self
They're doing
snitch.
that. So they do self snitching,
Yes.
and something that I wanted to say. I mean, no offense to the young lady in the comments that is trying to say that that we are a bunch of racists and that we say that we don't
No,
see
no, no.
color.
She's no, no.
But
What she's saying is that there's certain entities
mhm,
like within the Hispanic culture, because she's also part Hispanic also. So
yeah,
she was saying that there's a lot of that you have certain people within the Hispanic culture who are how should I say
mhm.
anti-black,
Okay,
and
but you're talking about that's kind of more of a thing. That's kind of more of a thing in it seems in the West Coast. I personally don't know anything about that. I'm from the Caribbean,
right,
and when it comes to seeing color, I'm not gonna say that I don't see color because I do. I'm not colorblind. I do see color, but the way that I was raised was that whatever the color, these are my people. Whatever the color, I was born and raised around my people exclusively. Whatever the complexion was, and I was raised to see these Puerto Ricans that had different complexions as my people equally. So that whole notion that because we're getting attacked right now, the FBAs are getting very bold with us, going on and on about how racist we are and how it is part of of our cultures and all of that. Okay, maybe some of these guys may have had some kind of a bad experience with somebody with a Spanish name calling them a name. Maybe they did. Maybe they did happen. Maybe they did came across a bigot. But that whole thing about lumping us all together, we having the same mentality, that's a bunch of garbage. And we shouldn't have to be defending ourselves because we don't really owe explanations. And that's part of the ignorance and making assumptions and shit. But again, us that we are that are from the Caribbean, the upbringing is not the same. Okay, the you can come at me with the whole notion of mejorar la raza. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it back home. Yes, I did. That's something that my great grandma will say. But if my great grandma was from another time. I mean, she was alive just a few years after the abolition of slavery. Different mentality, different time. As the years went by, there were other things that became more important, more important in Puerto Rico when it comes to nationality, when it came to identity, and that the whole race thing just wasn't really that important, and it became less and less important as the decades went by. That today that's not even a subject that we talk about today.
right,
It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
right.
And again, one thing, and this is something that has to be said. Okay, we are Caribbean Latinos. Okay, Caribbean Latinos are different, say, from the Latinos from Central America and South America because our histories are different. Okay, are there racist Latinos in our communities? Yes, they are. Okay, but for the most part, at least as far as among us is concerned, and other Latinos that we do know that have other platforms, that's not tolerated. Okay, are there racist Latinos against African Americans? Yes, uh, there is. However, we do call them off for their stupidity.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody amongst us, because some discussion about that will come out when I was in college back in Puerto Rico, and everybody who wanted to harp too much about the subject, trying to compare anything with what's going on in the United States, they will just get put on the spot and ridiculed. Like, come on, we know better. I mean, yes, there is a huge issue, a really big obsession with racial things in the United States. But like, and I can understand certain Hispanic Americans that were born in the States having issues of race, but there are Hispanic North Americans. So it's a different environment. It's not like with us. I was born and raised around my people almost exclusively. The only other people that I will be around will be Dominicans. And they, for the most part, were many of them, if not most of them, were actually dark skinned. You really think that I care about that? People in Puerto Rico will have kind of like an issue with them, a bit of a resentment with them, because many of them will show up undocumented. That was what they will have an issue with them about. Not the fact that they had a certain complexion. It was the fact that then some of them, many of them, will show up in Puerto Rico undocumented. Different issue. Different issue. I mean, it wasn't about race.
And the fact of the matter is, each country has a right to regulate its borders as far as who can legally enter the country and who cannot. Okay, people love to attack Dominicans regarding their treatment of the Haitians. I would suggest before you make any comments that you actually read the history itself before you make any further comments, because it's very easy to comment on something you do not have any knowledge of.
Yeah, and for the FBAs, and for the FBAs, they might hear this, that law when it comes to Dominicans, that they love to bring up the difference between Dominicans and Haitians to have something to throw in Dominicans' faces. Um, let me tell them a little fact, Armando. You can confirm this. Nobody helps the Dominicans nobody helps the Haitians, I should say, more than the Dominicans. I mean, I have been in the Dominican Republic, and I have been at the border. I have been to the marketplace that is at the border, and that's the Dominican authorities. They give them a break and let them set up shop in the marketplace so they can sell goods. And there are some of the Haitians that the border police would actually let them in, walk all the way to town, so they could sell their goods and all of that. I mean, nobody's really helping them more than the Dominicans. That whole notion that they have this hatred, like they are on certain platforms, they like to go on and on about how much the Dominicans hate the Haitians just because they're black. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know the history.
Well, it's like this. I can't. It's like the relationship between Dominican and Haitians. We can't really say it is or not. It depends on the individual, because now you have certain Dominicans that get along with Haitians, but then you have certain Dominicans that don't. And then you have certain Haitians that actually come into the Dominican Republic just to commit crimes. And you have certain, and it's a very topic, because I can't really say that for sure. Like, you have certain Dominicans that help, you have certain Dominicans that don't. But when people try to generalize anything and everything to a narrative, that's when things could actually get really tricky. And then you will have a whole bunch of Dominicans calling each other Vende Patria or whatever the case may be.
Well, I'm never. Okay, but that's something that's happening up here in the States.
No,
I'm here.
but it's actually happening over there too. It's to the point that you have ultra nationalist Dominicans, right? And then when you see certain stuff like crime and stuff that's actually happening, and certain people are saying certain stuff, they're actually blaming the politicians, the ones that even the ones that actually have like the ultra nationalist rhetorics and stuff, you could actually see billboards and everything like that. I'm talking about Dominican Republic and here, that they're actually calling a lot of these politicians in the Dominican Republic traitors to the Dominican ideal and traitors to the Dominican flag. So it's when it's get to politics, is very tricky when you talking about that, because what a lot of people could say, oh, you have certain people that'll say the Haitians are the problems and everything, but if you actually look at the creation of Dominican Republic, you have people who are like maybe 5 or 6 generations Dominican, and they might have a Haitian ancestor, or in certain aspects, you have certain people who are Dominican, but
Yeah.
then they might have like maybe 2 down the line, maybe a Haitian grandfather or something. So when you actually have all these ultra nationalists in the Dominican Republic that will actually try to tell a person what they are based on their skin color or whatsoever, this is where I actually draw the line. I draw the line when it goes to my people in the Dominican Republic, because it's to the point that you have a whole bunch of ignorant politicians in the Dominican Republic that'll actually try to lump up my people. The we were called Ingles or Cocolos in Dominican Republic, right?
Oh, well,
It's my
yeah.
mother's side.
The whole thing
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the Cocolo, that's something that is relatively
yeah,
new to
yeah,
me. To me,
yeah.
Cocolo
Well,
means something else entirely. Yeah.
yeah. So what happened is that when a lot of Americans own shop in the Dominican Republic as far as sugar plantations or whatsoever, they couldn't get the local population in Dominican Republic because they didn't speak the language. So they brought over people from the Leeward and Windward Islands to settle in the Dominican Republic to work. What happened is that most of them, they settled in the Dominican Republic. They had families. They actually became baseball stars and lawyers and most educated people in the Dominican Republic. They actually assimilated into the Dominican society. So what
Right.
happened is that now, since some of the descendants are darker than some, an ignorant person who do not know the culture of San Pedro de Macorís or certain areas within the Dominican Republic that have with people having English names, they want to try to bunch um the West Indian descendants of those sugarcane cutters in the Dominican Republic as Haitian also. When the or they try to have tradition, or we had our separate traditions, and they try to lump us up as, oh, you're a Haitian or whatever the case may be. And that's what I actually is fighting against, because a lot of these people are ignorant and they are trying to push a narrative that could actually harm people in the future. And I'm not cool with that.
Okay. No, because the whole thing about the Cocolo, that's something that I learned about recently. Because in Puerto Rico, Cocolo only means somebody who listens to salsa music all the time. That's that's what they wouldn't even use the term anymore, because the younger
Because it's
generation.
outdated out there.
Yeah. Because these days, what you hear is reggaeton all over the all over the place. I mean, it's important. Salsa music is important to the culture, of course it is. Just like it is still important in the DR. I mean, because it's culture. It's an integral part of our cultures. But nobody goes around listening to salsa in their car like back in the day. That's something that I heard it, I saw it. There will be the cocolos that what we call cocolos, that will have a serious sound system in their car, but they will be playing salsa That's how we used to be.
Yeah,
But
yeah, like the Puerto Ricans here in Philadelphia, you just
mm,
hear them blasting Dumbo and well and reggaeton
the
and an
reggaeton.
occasional Bad Bunny. You will never really hear anybody play salsa unless it's the Dominicans. And they'll play the old salsa and then they play the new Dominican salsa, but they'll try to
Mm,
but a lot of Puerto Ricans, I'm saying in New York, they're not gonna play the old salsas like when I was growing up. When you see Puerto Ricans, they're blasting all the Fania hits, all the
mm.
um all the Oscar de Leon,
Yeah, Caldeleon. Yeah.
Mambo, and who I'm missing? Gilberto Santa Rosa, Frankie Ruiz.
Gilberto
You,
Santa Rosa, Héctor Lavoe, Oco Willie Colón. Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
the legends, and that should make a little bit of a comeback, at least for
I,
Hispanic Heritage Month or something. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's like when I was growing up, even though I didn't know who they were because I didn't really listen to salsa like that, I was more of a merengue head.
Mm-hmm.
I heard everybody blasting that when I used to walk around my block. The Puerto Ricans that had cars and everything like that, they always blast salsa instead of hip hop. But then everything changed when Big Pun came out. So everybody started blasting Big Pun. And then when reggaeton
Wow,
started
it
being
only
a thing,
happened. It only happened with Big Pun because I thought that the Puerto Ricans would already be represented before that.
I mean, okay,
Mhm.
let's
Uh,
start with this. Like Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe
yeah.
was what he was, right? But like say in the Bronx, yeah, you will see certain people that blast that. Then you had Hurricane G, that she was Puerto Rican and she was Eric Sermon's baby mother and stuff. Then you had
Mm-hmm.
Angie Martinez. So when it
Mm-hmm.
was Hot 97, it was like, okay, Puerto Rico, oh, and then the Hot 97, that radio station, they went up and they sponsored most of the time that the Puerto Rican parade until like maybe later on they started supporting the Dominican parade too, because a lot of hip hop artists started saying that they were Dominican and such,
Mm-hmm.
trying to bring out their Latin side. So, but in the beginning, Hot 97, when it came to the Puerto Rican parade, everybody, everybody who was a hip hop artist, even if they had Rican roots or not, they actually came to the Puerto Rican parade. So, Hot 97, I'm talking about like maybe the mid or late 90s to early 2000s. Hot 97, the radio station, always had a float, even to this day, have a float in the New York Puerto Rican parade.
Mhm.
Okay. Eventually, I would like to see the parade. I've never been to New York, so eventually, I would like to see it myself.
All right, so
Okay.
therefore, just what I'm going to tell you. I think it's like the first or second Sunday in June. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, if you are not working that day or anything like that, we could actually link up on that day and we'll show you around. Me and Jose.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, that's something that I will have to start planning for it already. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That will be interesting to be able to go to New York City. I mean,
Okay.
my beloved mother, who's resting, she lived, I think, in the Manhattan area at one time,
Right.
and I remember talking to her and saying, "Mom, we should go to New York. I mean, you can show me around." And she was like, "Nah, nah." She didn't want to go. She didn't want to go. I
I
asked
mean,
her, then maybe
not, not for nothing. The New York that your mother would have known doesn't exist
would be very
anymore.
different.
I
Would be
mean,
different.
you
Yeah,
got the same, but then a lot of stuff has changed.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Um,
I'm sure.
to the Eagle, to Eagles fan, you're welcome to come up because hey, you said la ignorancia es real. Quifo por ejemplo. I call him Quifo. That's it. I call him
Yeah.
Ember.
Actually, another.
I call him Reina. I call him
Okay.
Reina the last. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because
Well, actually, another great New York event is watching the ball drop on New Year's Eve and waiting 5, 6, 7 hours, even
No, no,
if
no,
it
but
takes.
no, no, no. But you're talking about New Year's Eve in the middle of the cold. Nah, not interested. No, because yeah, that's what you were gonna go into. Oh, it's all nice, but it's all cold, and it's like zero degrees and all. Yeah, Mr. Freeze, I know
all right.
that's your thing.
I'm going to tell you something, Ramon, and this might hurt a lot of New Yorkers, but I
Yeah.
don't care. Native-born New Yorkers like me, I don't know about Don Jose, but I could tell you one thing: nobody's going to go try to see the ball drop in New York. That's
Hmm.
it. Yeah, it's so bad in New York. You even actually have people that have been around, that have lived in New York all their life, and they never been to the Statue of Liberty
Really,
or
Yes.
really.
So,
or or Manhattan.
Ramon. So Ramon. So that the next time that you complain about how it was my first time going to the Pelican Parade, maybe you think about that.
Wow. No, it's just that it will. One will think that it will be a kind of like a default thing to do. You are living in NYC. You are gonna go to the obligatory sites like the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty,
Or go,
the
or go,
any of the
or go to
museums.
Go to Times Square New Year's Eve.
No, oh, here we go. I'm talking about locations, landmarks, the landmarks in New York City,
Times
which I'm
Square is
sure
a
there are many of them. Mhm.
well. Times Square is a landmark too.
Yeah, but one can go to Times Square when it's still nice and warm and it's comfortable too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
but
it's not.
I would like to visit. I would like to see it myself there. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, there's a. I mean, you can spend literally months visiting all the New York has to offer.
Yes,
So
I'm sure. Mhm.
of course, I'm a little disappointed that the Yankees didn't get into the World Series, but then again, there's always next year. But
Ah, well, I don't
Yeah,
know what the rankings are when it comes uh, to the standings are like right now. I would like to for Atlanta to win again. They won it all last season. Yeah.
well, I'm happy to see the Dodgers gotten eliminated early.
So that's the beef. I thought the beef was with the Red Sox.
That too, but it's like there's always been a rivalry going back to the '40s between the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There is a lot of history there, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, the fact of the matter is, going back to the original topic, and I have to leave in a few minutes because I'm going to be participating in another live stream.
Ah,
This is okay. This is how. Okay, just okay. This is how you get your channel to grow. You go on other people's streams and you network.
yeah. I have to do more of that. I have to do more of that and see what other tips are out there when it comes to growing subscribers because I don't have I barely have any. So I just have to really put my mind to it and find out what works. But yeah, I would like to be able to grow the subscription base because I barely have any. So yeah, yeah.
Well,
And that-
well, well. What I do is I send the link to about 10 to 15 people on Instagram. And
yeah.
also now that I'm in the Discord, I can also state to some of the people in the Discord when I'm going to be live. So, so at least
Okay.
I have some people, and and I do try to keep a regular schedule. In fact, right now I have 170 subs.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and the one thing we might have to bear in mind, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. No, no, that's why I'm kind of like taking it easy with that. But eventually, yeah, I want to figure it out. I want to figure it out. I mean, I would like to. I would like to. I just have to find out what is it that works, so I can make it happen and grow the subscriptions. Without that, I'm gonna be stuck on nothing.
Well, just remember, the first 100 is the hardest to gain. It's always.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But
Yeah. It's been very hard. It's been for this for my newer channel. The subscription is only been like 35. It's embarrassing. So are you gonna go see Gigi?
actually, no. Actually, there's another YouTube channel called "The Future Is Golden."
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In fact,
I
yeah.
see.
In fact, I think briefly she appeared on my platform, and a lot of the people who are appearing on my platform are now part of the Golden Spear.
Ah, all right, all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I know there is it's not just Gigi, but also like Magic Mulata. I have talked to her before. They seem cool. They're cool.
Yeah, they are. I mean, people like Magic Walata, Gigi, Multi, The Owl Show, The Blazing
Mm-hmm.
King, James Maps, AMR, Jojo. I mean, there's a whole
Oh,
wide.
oh, you know a few of them because I usually when I have talked to, it's been with Gigi and Multi. They're the two that I usually talk to. Yeah, but I remember Al. You had her. You had them
Yeah.
all in AMR. I remember them. Hmm.
Hmm. So I mean, look. I mean, in time, your channel. In time, your channel is going to grow. It doesn't what it is. It just have to um try to be persistent. Try
Yeah.
okay. Try to put out the material on a regular basis, and learn how to network.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now I have tried to develop a community tab. I don't know why I'm not able to do so. So
Yeah.
maybe this week I could DM you, and then maybe you can help me how because I understand that now small YouTube creators can create a community tab.
Yeah, yeah. Small creators. I have mine. I think I sent it to your Instagram. The video that has the
I
steps because
did, I did, but for some reason I'm not able to do that. I don't know
no,
why.
no, no. But because
Maybe
you have to wait. You have to wait. That doesn't happen right away. That's something that can take a few days, a couple of weeks. I mean, by the time I got my community tab, I have forgotten about it. I have forgotten that I have sent the message because it had been a while. It had been several weeks since I had sent out the message, but it did happen. It's just that it's when they get to it. They get to it when they get to it. So that's what
okay,
it was. When I got the notification that I had it available, it surprised me because I had forgotten about it because I knew that it was gonna take a while. So it's not gonna be right away. It's not gonna be right away. You have to give
okay,
it some time. Hmm.
all right,
If you did all of the steps and you send the message that the video talks about, that the video says, just let it be, because it's gonna take
I
some
know, but
time.
but the problem is when I try to do it, it's either load a video or create a video. I'm not, for some reason, I'm not able to create a post. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay. Okay. No, because it's a message. You have to follow certain steps, and you get to the point where you can send a message to YouTube, and then you copy and paste the message that the video talks about, in which you
Mhm.
say it would be nice if I could get the community tab, because it is a useful tool to reach more subscribers. It's something like that. The message is something like that, and you send that out, and then you wait, because it's when they feel like it. I mean, they get to it when they get to it. So it may take some time. Mhm.
Okay.
But still, we can review it. We can review it later on if necessary.
Okay. Okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
Um,
So
when,
I gotta go, guys, because I'm gonna join another stream. First of all, Don Armando, thank you very much for
all right.
allowing
Well,
me.
anytime.
All right, so take care, guys, and and before I go, just make sure if you have not done so, please subscribe to Don Armando's channel, and the Introvert also has a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna actually, if you have not done so, please subscribe to their channels and check out their content. So have a good night, guys. Take care.
You too, don't know say.
Appreciate it. Take
Thank
care,
you.
I
you
will,
too.
I would like to shout out Raisa Peña for showing me love to my page. And
Yeah, the link is there. The link
yeah,
is
that's
there if you want to join in also. And also, by the same token, when it comes to Don Jose, he has his YouTube channel, which is called Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Check out his channel, and hit the likes, subscribe to his channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be updated to future streams.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Man. So, yeah, eventually I would like to visit NYC. Never had the chance to be there. So, but I don't know. I really don't know anything about it. I just know like a little bit about the landmarks. But sometimes I get to these live streams where there are a bunch of New Yorkers talking about different locations in New York, and I don't know what they're talking about because I've never been there. To be
all
perfectly
right, so
honest.
all right, so I got a question to ask you, Ramon. Do
Yeah.
you have a Amtrak near where you're staying at in
Amtrak.
Texas?
Yeah. Amtrak. No, not that I recall. That is kind of like a Greyhound station and all that. No. But I'm too far away. I will have to fly out to get there. I will have to fly out. I'm too far away. I'm in the I'm in the south. So.
Okay, so all right, because I know that in Texas that they have a lot of Amtrak stations because I have a friend that he travels by Amtrak all the time because he
Mm.
has these points or whatever the case may be. And
Ah.
I would like to travel with the Amtrak more, like via Philadelphia to NYC, so I could actually develop points because
Oh.
it was like around last year. Me and my wife, we actually
Mhm.
went to Florida from Philadelphia,
Mm.
and I could actually say it was a good trip.
Yeah, because you're kind of like taking in the sights all the way. I'm sure it's great. It takes longer, yes, but you're taking the sights too. I'm sure it was a lot to see on traveling that distance. But no, I haven't seen anything about an Amtrak. But then again, I haven't looked. I know that in downtown Dallas there is a Greyhound station, but I don't know anything about an Amtrak. I
Well,
mean, there are railways, but they're kind of like more, kind of like the railways. It has nothing to do with Amtrak. Hmm. Yeah.
let's see. Okay, so you're in Dallas, right?
Hmm.
Okay, well, actually, I guess you're familiar with the Eddie Bernice. Okay, we have our good old brother Zacharias.
Yes,
What are
what's
you
Hey,
up,
doing?
bro?
I'm
It's
hey,
good.
I
what's
had
going
to
on,
call a
guys?
phone company. The internet sounds good and it's better. Thank the Lord. How y'all doing? ¿Cómo están ustedes? Buenas
Ah,
noches.
buenas
Buenas
noches. Ahí
noches.
estamos. Estamos bien. Estamos bien. What's
All
going
right.
on?
I've been okay. Yo estoy
Yeah,
bien.
yeah, because our stream tonight is about how can you stay positive even if you're in a negative situation. And it looks like that I guess we were talking about a lot of topics tonight, including
Mm-hmm.
Mr. West. So what is your view about Mr. West?
I just jumped in. I just jumped in. I don't. I saw you live. I don't know the whole topic on who is Mr. Watts.
No, Mr. West.
Oh, Kanye. Oh, good. Okay. What's my view? Okay. Well, is he got where he got where he coming from. I do believe that he's under a curse because y'all know the Kardashians are witches. Remember Astroworld last year?
Right.
And also too that Mr. West what I do see is the hypocrisy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending anti-Semitism, but how many white, okay, not all white Jews are bad. Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, and we, oh, but how many some individuals, okay, who have supported anti-black racism and said things, or either had African American people in rap music say the vicious thing towards our own community. Dolores Tucker talked about that years ago. And when Michael Jackson said that they don't care about us and said the things he said on that song, they try to cancel Michael Jackson. But at the
Yes, I
same
do
time,
remember that.
you had NWA, and it was a white Jewish man, Jerry Heller. I don't like Jerry Heller. Had these folks calling something N word. Some songs was okay, like F the police, the bad police, not good police, okay? But they was exploring themselves. They played the thug, ghetto, thug, violent. And if you watch Straight Outta Compton, even though that's a dramatization, there is reality. A lot of white people bought their music. I could not listen to NWA as a kid. My grandparents better not let me hear no NWA playing the dog in my house, okay? You know, but they was marketed. And long as they had a brother acting a fool, call him something N word and defending criminal behavior, then that's when it's okay to promote. But that's no different in Nazi Germany what it did to Jewish people, because Hitler did use, besides use witchcraft to get people hooked up on his Nazism, but he used the media to make Jews look bad. And that's how African saying people, our people, are look terrible to the point people say F Black Lives Matter because they decriminate, made our African saying people look like criminals, the hood rat, the thug, for over 20 to 30 some years. The prime president is supposed to target Latinos too, but it didn't, go too much for Latinos. But the African saying people, people in their head think that we all are thugs, with proud of criminal behavior. And don't get me wrong, there are people in our community that do that mess, but they don't represent me. But it's been 30 some years of manifestation of that mess, and it was both Jew and Gentile white people who support the private prison complex um, went along with this and made money off this, and even had some of the folks dead, get killed behind some insurance money. When they people have folks kill the artists and stuff. So my question is to the people who are white Jewish. No, that was wrong what Kanye West saying, but why have a hypocrisy um, approach to it? Because if that's the case, don't market anti-blackness, especially even the African person is in the N word, and why market that? You would never see a white Jewish person say things about their community in that manner. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
You're
here. I'm
right.
just waiting for Armando to say something. Mhm.
You're right.
I pause for say something.
I mean, I can't really say I can't really say a group around here because I'm just gonna say this: the the people who are from a protected financial class. I'm just gonna say
Mhm,
that because if we even say any certain stuff, and the way that how people are butthurt and sensitive through media,
mhm,
we could actually. It's like now we're living in the United States, right? So therefore,
mhm,
there are two sectors of people who are of the protected financial class. So let's
mhm,
just say let's say we have all this stuff. We're talking about shooting up people or whatever the case may be, or violation or all this stuff. We could talk about the most wretched thing. But let us mention the protected the two categories of people in the protected financial class. You will
mhm.
see your business go down. You seen the actor Isaiah Thomas career got wiped away, even to the point you don't even know where he's at anymore, just
He's
because
African.
he just the protected financial class.
But but we need to be that. I'm talking about African saying people. A lot of our people. That's. I'm gonna say this as an African American. I'm gonna say French real English argument.
You're breaking
A
up.
lot of
You're breaking up, Zacharias.
huh?
You're
I break it
breaking up
up.
for a moment, Zacharias. Yeah, but maybe not now.
Oh,
Maybe not now. It's just that I couldn't hear you for a moment.
okay. Well, anyway, what I was saying
Try
is
again.
that,
Try again. Mhm.
Yeah,
okay.
well,
As I
yeah,
was
you're a
saying,
little bit waking up. Okay.
well, I'm on my end. Yes, it's doing okay. Uh, so what I was saying that as a part of the African Americans in the community, we need to have that mindset that someone say something bad about us, they get canceled. But we haven't. We a few times, yeah, people say anti-blacks like Kramer, who's a white Jewish person, but we have people complacent. And Hispanics, and I'm part Spanish Creole, so I'm Hispanic. We did the same thing too. Like American Cholo was right about the Tiger video, but he was hypocritical as well. When Selena got killed, who made a joke about Selena and had some stupid sister, laughing? A white Jewish man named Howard Stern. He made it on social on the media back in '95, laughed about this lady getting killed and made anti-Latino Hispanic jokes. And now I will say this amongst the Hispanic people. I saw mostly Mexican Americans get upset. There's Puerto Ricans and Cubans, and there's a few Mexicans there too, and Dominicans. Well, like to ask that because the only time I saw someone was Afro Latina who was on Sargis Raphael confronting Robin Rivers for being self-hate, anti-black, and anti-Hispanic, defending the racist stuff he said about Selena as well. Talking about Howard Stern. There's one time I saw someone that was not Mexican, that was Latina, Hispanic, was it Afro Latina? However, uh, that's Howard Stern continued to say anti Latino and anti black stuff. Um, beat years ago.
Well, you're breaking up. You're breaking up bad. We're not hearing anything really. You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking
Okay,
up.
well, I don't know how. I don't know what's going on. I'm okay. My
Yeah. They're just still.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with your phone. The Stringer is not for
no, my
phones. Yeah.
no. Well, I mean that's all I got for right now is my phone.
Yo,
Okay.
um,
yo, Zach. You know what you could do, right? Because I'm just gonna put you on to game. Um, do you have
an account with whatchamacallit, with Amazon?
Yes, I do. Right now, I'm going through a
All
financial
right.
situation. Yeah, I'm going through a lot right
All
now.
right. So
That's. Mm-hmm.
all right, yeah. All right. So I'm just saying like the Google Chrome, right? You know the
Mm-hmm.
Chromebooks.
I have
They're
Google
like,
Chrome.
yeah. So like say if you want to go on if you want to go online or anything like that, I think it will be
Mm-hmm.
better in your situation that you could use the Chromebook because I'm actually on my laptop. So if you actually use your Chromebook,
Mm-hmm.
I think you might get like a better reception with StreamYard. I'm not gonna go around and say you're gonna get it 100%. But I'm just saying, like, as far as your StreamYard, or if you want to do anything other of I guess of live streaming or whatever the case may be, I think that if you use your Chromebook, I think you will
Mhm.
have better reception. I'm
Yeah,
just putting it
at
out.
least, yeah, StreamYard tends to favor the Chrome browser, because if you're using like the Explorer browser, that might give you it might give you some trouble. If you use Firefox, it might give you some trouble. My understanding
Mm-hmm.
is that StreamYard favors the Chrome browser, and so maybe if you have it on your phone, then use the Chrome browser on your phone. So
Or
Okay,
that's
I'm
my
about to use it
only
right now.
thought.
I'm about to use it
Okay.
right now.
all
Hold on
right,
just a moment. But yeah,
okay.
I know that I've been calling the phone company and they've been having problems with this area. Like I said, I think it's a setup. I don't think this because last year when I had issues with Verizon and they cut the internet off, even after this year, I was able to be on StreamYard. I was able to go to guy's channel and you know what I'm saying no problem. It's just that I think that since like I said, the whole bluish cloud thing, I think this is a setup. No, I
Mm.
don't trust them. Yeah, because when I got my channel taken down, I went to them and told them what's going on, and I guess it's a setup because me and the lady talking about the YouTube lady, I've been trying to fight against her situation legally. Let me go ahead and type the information in so I can go and use the. Cause I'm about to go on Chrome. I got my Chrome laptop right now, so I have a hotspot. Hold on just a moment, because
Okay.
yeah, this it's a Joe Biden mess.
Uh,
Yeah, Obama no longer president, so Joe Biden is in charge. Um,
I don't know. I don't know if he's even. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know who the heck is in charge no more. I'm not being. I'm
Somebody
not
that we
being
don't
sarcastic.
know. There's somebody that we don't
I'm
know who it is. Somebody in behind the scenes. That will be my guess.
yeah. The reason
Kamala.
why I say the
Because
reason why I say that
Kabbalah sure as hell isn't. Hmm.
the reason why I say my stuff, and it is what it is,
All
because
right.
certain people, we're gonna keep it 1,000, like Radical says, do not have the best interest when it comes to politics.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
me.
All right, so cut off the other part, and that's in
I'm about,
all right.
hold on just a moment.
Okay, now okay,
Okay,
now you sound better.
yeah, let me cut this off. Hold on just a moment.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, you hear me? Yeah, hold on. It's trying to get me back on. Okay, let me get this out. Get this out. Hold on. Sorry about that. This is stupid. Phone. Stop. Stop.
All
God,
right.
dog. Okay. All right. That's better. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hear you
we
perfectly.
hear you. Hmm.
Yeah, I have a Google Chrome.
Yeah, so
Is it?
no, so therefore I'm saying like if now and everything,
Uh
you could act I'm saying like if you want for future
StreamYard use or anything like that, it will be better for you to use your own Chromebook, because that way, when you actually use your Chromebook, you won't have to run into all these complications.
I did. Last time, a couple times I used a Chromebook. I've been calling the phone company, and even I emailed the CEO because I got messed up with college. I go to college online, and I called again like 2 days ago, and let them know that I have problems with the internet, because around by at 9 to, like, for example, like Radical have his. I don't mean Radical don't get along anymore, but Radical had his StreamYard in the daytime, or Black Skin Amazing. It's like if I able to get on there, then yeah, in the morning time, afternoon. But in evening time, like right now, that's when the internet start acting a fool. And I have told them people, I don't know what it is, even when I cross the city line on the bus, I'm jamming music on the bus. Next thing I get close to my area, that's when this whole thing, they talk about satellite. So I believe somebody in them industries, they know what's up. They probably spying on me, whatever, and they trying to damage everything. Cause you tell the truth, you truthful. People try to, especially you talk about government and stuff. They don't. They just try to silence you.
Yeah, it could be just spotty coverage. I mean, it happens to me. I mean,
Okay.
I have to make sure that I use the Wi-Fi, because the coverage for my phone is not the best where I live. So
Okay. Zach, and Ramon, are
yes,
are y'all in the same city, or y'all in different parts?
I
'Cause I
mean,
know
I'm in
well,
Houston.
yeah, I'm in the Dallas area. I don't know what part of Texas Zacarias is.
Houston, Texas.
Okay, okay. I'm in the Dallas
Houston,
area,
Dallas.
so
Okay,
yeah,
Houston to
yeah.
Dallas. Okay, so how far is Houston from Dallas?
4
It's
hours.
about 4 hours, yes,
All right,
driving.
4 hours. All right, so
45. Highway 45. North Freeway.
all right,
Yeah,
so
that
let's
means
say
that for me it will be almost 6 hours, because I try to take my time, and sometimes there could be traffic, because it's like one highway that goes there, that goes through several places like Waco before that, and like a couple of places before it gets to Houston. So
Waco.
all right,
You say
no,
Waco?
my bad. I was talking about, like, if I were to
Conroe.
go, if I were to go to Austin or something, that then I will have to go through Waco. But no, not to Houston, not to Houston. My bad. Mhm.
all
That's
right,
going
because I
out
was like,
west.
yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm just looking at a map, and I say if I was in Dallas, right, and I was
Mhm.
going to Houston, I guess, and I was taking the train because I don't drive. Um, yeah, they'll say it will be 4 or 5 hours.
The plane be good. I rode a plane over there.
Yeah, okay, so people actually, all right, I'm just saying, so people actually take planes from cities to cities in Texas. I haven't heard it. I'm just asking.
Yes, sir, they do. That's what
Well,
happened to John
yeah,
Boy.
there are some kind of, like, there are small planes that are chartered between cities here in Texas, because Texas is fairly large. So if I were in
Hmm.
Dallas, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to take a small plane that will take me to, say, San Antonio, because it's a few hours drive to get there. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary, but most people will drive. So
I took I took the plane to go to El Paso, Texas. They instead of going straight to El Paso, we went to Hobby Airport. Then the Mexican lady helped me out to go to Job Corps in 2004, right after the Janet Jackson thing with the Super Bowl. I went to Dallas, Fort Worth, and then I had trade planes to go to El Paso, because there was no straight plane to go west to El Paso. It went to Dallas, Fort Worth first, and then you had to go to El Paso, and I don't know why they did that. Because I guess if I took the Intercontinental, 'cause we have two airports. We have Hobby, which is southeast side,
and you have Intercontinental Airport, which is northeast side. Now where Carl Williams was. Oh, so now where Carl Williams was, the dude from the Golden Sphere was talking about. Okay, the whole Atlantic Creole situation. That's northeast side about Harvard Star Apartments. That's northeast Bush Intercontinental Airport. So they have, I guess it'd be different to go straight out. But since I lived in the east side of Harris County, I was able to go to Hobby Airport to go to the Job
All
Corps.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have a theory about something, Ramon and Zach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and there's about a certain Hispanista YouTuber who I will call I don't know how should I call him, the screaming lunatic. The screaming lunatic that went up and was that went up and went viral for just screaming like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Certain somebody who's not living in the U.S. anymore. So.
it's
Yes,
DR.
and I got an interesting theory, and you got to roll with me on this. And this is what I'm going to say. Would it be possible the amount of times this raving lunatic, right,
Mm-hmm.
got his channels shut down every time? What I'm just saying, this is the theory. Would it be because he used the N-word?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he dissed the protected class in every instance he had, pushing his Nazi propaganda?
The latter.
Right.
That will be my guess. The latter.
And then he put porn on my channel the night that me and Blue Star was going in on my live stream. He was one of them. Him and that Colombian dude.
Wait a minute. Which Colombian dude?
The light complected Colombian dude that make himself look big, but he showed himself. He's little thin, little short dude. Willie? I'm sorry to say it.
I don't know who that person is.
Guillermo Vasquez.
Okay,
No,
Guillermo. Sounds a little bit familiar, but
I know who he is. He's Macho's friend.
Oh, okay.
Well, I said, I don't I don't know. To me, we're not gonna even call this guy Macho. We're just gonna call him what's the opposite of Macho?
Hembra.
Puta. Let me stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Reina Hembra. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to make himself that he's such an alpha male, right? But yeah, he says he's such an alpha male, right? But when I saw him in the Dominican parade, he looked like he was scared when he saw a whole bunch of dark-skinned Dominicans walking around like he's a cop.
Are you serious? You saw him at the parade?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I wanted to punch him in his face. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go around and sully this parade just because of one.
And don't go to jail. Don't go to jail, brother. Don't, please.
I mean, either way, I'm just saying, either way, he seems like a punk anyway. Because when I was dissing him on Fighter's channel, he's like, "Oh, when you beat me up, I'm gonna call the cops, and then I'm gonna do this to your." I'm like, really? Let's put him like this, and I'm just gonna put it out there. Any man that wants to take pride in saying that he's gonna take somebody's wife, let's put it like this: you're not. Who the heck are you? Like, let's be honest. And I'm going to say this. These are the points that you could talk about certain people and you could tell that they're capping.
Number one, he says that, yes, I am the representative of my neighborhood. I know people in your hood. Nobody knows you.
Oh,
Number one.
Damn.
Number
the
two.
internet has made people.
Number two.
The internet has. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry to apologize.
All right. Number two.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends. I think I talked to him before I knew who he was.
Uh-oh.
On Instagram and Twitter. Not Instagram. I mean Clubhouse and Twitter.
MySpace? Okay.
Huh? Nah,
MySpace?
Nah.
Not that long ago. Okay.
This is like before I actually started really knowing what StreamYard is or what my own channel is about.
Okay.
Or
okay.
or being in the Latin sphere or whatever the case may be. So
this sphere is
it looks like on all platforms he is actually known as the idiot. No, for real though. I actually
and I'm laughing with you, bro. I'm laughing with you, dog.
Yeah, because I was on a TikTok on a female TikToker. She's a Dominican talker by the name of Mayan Rivera. And I like listening to her because she has knowledge and she's a dancer and she actually set certain things right. And I actually respect her opinion because she actually talks like she has some sense.
Right.
Now, when I went up and we were talking about what I am, and when we were talking about the history and stuff on TikTok, on her video and everything, me and her, I actually went up and I told her about Queen Embra, right? So when we were talking about Queen Embra, you should have seen the disgust on her face when we did that live. She was like, ugh. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So, and then I have a friend that she actually has her own channel. You should check it out and support her. Her name is Astrid Rosario, a fellow Dominicana.
Okay.
So Astrid Rosario, when we were talking on Clubhouse, because that's where I actually go. That's one of the streams that I actually go to because I don't really be on Clubhouse that much because I don't feel like talking 8 years about nothing. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I have to see your face.
Right.
So there's a group in Clubhouse called La Bodega. So I happen to be there. I say who I am, and they accept me. You know what I'm saying? It's not all this. Oh, you're this, you're that. They accept me for who I am. Automatic. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm going there
so
right
with
now.
that said, I went up and I mentioned Queen Embra's name. She was like, I can't stand that MFer. So that's two social media platforms that you're actually hated on. So my things is this, and we're just talking about social media platforms and everything. I know that you and Radical don't get along now, but I hope y'all do, or actually clear it up on my page one day. I should actually have you and Radical talk your differences out behind the scenes. If you're okay with that, Zacharias.
Yeah, I'll try to pull up a couple times. I'm trying to be peaceful on your platform, but if it was like light skin amazing, somebody that's ratchet, probably go to guys when we not cool no more. I have to say what I want to say, but I'm trying to keep it cool. Yeah, I would like us to talk to a Radical Latino because I have a lot of things to say. And the reason why that I felt that this, like I said, I defend my stance why I say he was, the R word.
Right.
The R word against with T. I mean, it's with race. Yeah, not the other R word. Yeah.
Right.
Not again. Yeah. So I want to discuss that, and like I said, I don't go out and just claim someone is racist. I look at people's body language and their attitude and their patterns. That's what I look at. Yeah. just like the lady from but I know you don't watch Housewives Atlanta and all them stuff, but what's that what's that white lady from not basketball, what's that show called, and they kicked her out from Bravo, Housewives Atlanta, when she treated Sweetie, dark skinned sister, Nigerian crazy, the white lady, Kim, and Nene
Oh yeah,
called it out.
you talking about Party for the Farty?
Oh please, I can't stand her. Yeah, that hair had clean
Like,
hooligan.
like to me, right? I'm gonna tell you why I have such a disdain for hip hop or reality shows. And this is the thing.
Okay.
It reminds me so much of my ex that have tried to come to my stream and tried to actually call me by my government name on the
Right.
stream, and I had to block her several times because, first of all, like, I don't know, but I'm not. I could say I'm different. I'm not going to go around and say I'm super educated because I'm not. But there's
Mm-hmm.
certain things I don't like. First, as
Well,
a
I was
man,
giving an example. I
as a
was giving an
man,
example. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, as a man,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Spike TV. You
Right.
know, UFC. We're talking about
Yes.
all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your real name isn't Armando Robles. No, it's not. But my last name is Robles. Armando is just a part of my real name. But I'm not going to go around and say what my first name is because at the end of the day, you will have certain people that will try to dox you. Believe you not.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, as the point be saying,
Right.
when me and my ex, we always used to fight over this stupid show because I want to feel like a man. I wanted to watch my Spike TV,
Okay.
UFC, my action flicks, Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone,
Right.
all the greats that I grew up with. I don't want to watch two broads fighting, two entitled broads that I never heard of before this show talk about crap that does not relate to me. And then you get mad at me just because I don't want to watch this ghetto fried crap. I call
What
it
I
ghetto
was,
fried crap. And I'm going to tell you
I get it.
why it's ghetto fried crap. It's ghetto fried crap because, first of all, you have all these women, right?
Mm-hmm.
One who I remember who was mixed, and the other ones whatsoever, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even make it to the episodes because after a while I lost cable. It was a good. I could say it was a bendition or a blessing that that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Second, if you actually look at the reality show the way it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe when it started black reality shows on BT, right after the owner of BET went up and sold it to Viacom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, my African American Cherokee ex girlfriend was telling me that, oh, this is what black culture is. Okay,
No, it's not.
and I was telling her, no, it's not. And I'm
It's
going to tell
not.
you
You're
why.
right.
And I'm going to tell you why. And you could actually agree with me of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you know, I have like a distinct background whatsoever. I am Afro Latino and Caribbean,
Right.
and I could actually I actually have the receipts, and I actually proud of who I am. My aunt on my mother's side went up and married a man who was white, who you would actually call today white passing, but he was of
Creole.
Creole, yeah,
Hello.
Creole or African American,
whatever the label it
In the
was.
South. Yep,
But,
that's us.
but he was but he was originally from Gulfport, Mississippi. So
We
she
got Chris
actually
Mississippi
married this
too.
man. Yeah. So she
But
actually married this man in 1957 when no, she actually came to this country in 1957,
right.
then married this man in 1959. Went up and lived with him in New York for a certain amount of time until 1970 and came to
The South.
Gulfport, Mississippi. So therefore, that's where I was raised for from when I was 5 until 12.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was raised out there, and I used to go back and see my mother and stuff, whatever the case may be. But when it was actually talking about the deep roots of the African American culture,
In the South.
I'm gonna tell you the stuff that all the ignorant stuff that we had today. I didn't experience that as a child.
Right.
I remember as a kid when it was Martin Luther King Day. All the older black people,
Mm-hmm.
all the younger black people, nobody used the N word.
Joe didn't.
Nobody. I'm talking about the early '90s.
I know, in
Before
the 80s. I'm 43. I don't
in the
forget.
'80s and '90s, nobody used the N word. Nobody went up
We're not.
and was talking about drugs or smoking weed or nothing. There was none of that when I was
So what?
when I was growing up in Gulfport.
You
And
sure right
I'm
about that?
and it was like even if you went up and used the N word, you would get slapped
Sure would.
by older people because that was a word of oppression. Now,
That's
when I
right.
went up when I went up and I came to New York to live with my parents, everybody was like nigga this, nigga that, or whatever the case may be, right? But
Mm-hmm.
when you went down south, I'm saying when I grew up, you wouldn't use that. And
You sure wouldn't.
The day of Martin Luther King was revered as we came out as something. Everybody had
Mm-hmm.
to go, fall in line. Like there wasn't going to be no crime, none of that. You know what I'm saying? It was
And
that day,
respect. It was about
and it was
respect.
like, and it was respected. Everybody
Yes,
went up
sir.
in songs, Negro spirituals. It
You
was
sure did.
something that brought people together. You saw nobody fighting. You saw nothing like that. That I'm telling you from what I've seen.
I'm
So
verifying.
Yeah,
I'm
and the thing is
exactly,
that I can't confirm what you're saying, even though I did live in Gulfport. I didn't go to school there, but that the whole thing about racial stuff, I didn't. That wasn't really something that I will see, and I will hang around, and I work with people with different complexions, and I will hang around with my friend who was a black girl, and
yeah,
the and we will go around and hang out. It was never an issue. It was never. We never had a problem. We never had a
yeah.
problem. It's just, that's why
And that's what it
I
was
will find
because
myself. That's why I
it
will
was like
find myself.
mostly respect.
Yeah.
that,
I never saw kind of like racial issues, even though it was right in Mississippi. Mississippi does get a bad rap for things that have to do with race, and it may have been a thing back in the day in the more rural areas where maybe there are still people waving around Confederate flags. That might be a thing, yes. But at
mm-hmm.
least if you are in the towns, in the larger cities, you don't really see that, and people tend to be cool, and even though some of them have the country accents, but they don't go around kind of like being hostile towards somebody who was of a different race. I say that as me being Hispanic. Sometimes I will the people will think that I was Mexican, which is fine. I mean, it will happen on occasion. I wasn't really offended by that, but there being like major racial issues, I never saw that, and I hear all of these crazy things about New York City and California, all of these racial
Woo!
tensions that I keep hearing, and everything is like it's a pressure cooker about to explode or something, from what I hear. And when it comes to California and the racial tensions and racial issues, and like what the fuck? I live in the South and I don't see none of that. It's ironic because that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the other way around.
because a lot of white Southerners went there to California. A lot of folks don't know that. Judge Joe Brown exposed that back in the 60s and 70s when we run a civil rights movement. A lot of they started employing cops from the South in Los Angeles. So it's just like when African people, both mixed and pure, crossed the border to go away from slavery. The slave masters from Texas trying to go to Mexico, they got their ass whooped by the Mexican army. That's the same dynamic. They went to California to infiltrate their nonsense. Even though there's been racism in California in the past, but it wasn't extreme like in Texas and the South. But no, they started bringing the Ku Klux Klan cops from the southern towns to Los Angeles, and they started infiltrating. Like, what's that brother kind of light skinned that be on Young Turks? He talking about he wear glasses, wear a suit all the time. He kind of light brown skin tone. You know what I'm talking about? He exposed the people who own the Prior Prison Complex in California about all the racial things going on, either people scared who work at the prison. Yeah, 9-10 of southern white people that own a cocoa plantation in California, and they teaching them Hispanic people and African people to act a fool against each other. So that's what's going on. Yeah, that's what's going on in California, because like I have family that went to California after the 60s and 70s, and they will tell you that, actually all three of them passed away on my grandfather's siblings on my dad's side, but they'll tell you that it wasn't like that in California. Yeah, you had a little racial issue, but it wasn't extreme. You know what I'm saying? You can go integrate people, talk to all type of colors of people, but when they start bringing white supremacists to California from the South, they had higher positions, and also up north like Mark Farmer in the OJ trial. That's what infiltrate California to be racist, and people think that because it's a liberal state in city there's no racism. That's a lie. That's a lie. And they look at the white people. Don't look at the people of color who African and Spanish folks calling each other the N-word and W word and attacking each other on firearm and attacking each other street. They overlook that. They focus everybody looking on the white, because white folks control our own things. So of course we're begging and praying they don't be racist so we can share the wealth and opportunities. But when it comes to people of color, it's like, well, they're not in power when they can be in power. Look with Nora Martinez. And Nora Martinez was not only being anti-African American descendant and anti-indigenous with Mexican folks. They said this part of her crew was going to Tucson, Arizona. Well, the Queen thing was living at, I think he lived in Phoenix or either Tucson, one of the two. And I know Tucson is very racist, because back in the day, I go ahead and say my business. They got rid of mi gente. Me and a Mexican racist guy used to get into it from Tucson, Arizona.
You went up and brought up mi gente.
I was on mi gente and Black
Panther. Yo. You know who I was on mi gente for a long time before they went up and broke and shut down my account?
No, I never knew you.
No, you might have. I'm just saying.
The other account that I told you about, we'll keep that secret. The other account back then. Yeah, I probably knew then. Yeah, I had a secret account on another a Latino site that was very racist. I'm not gonna make who I am. Like, on that part. Yeah. They had a lot of folks from California.
Yeah. Like this was my screen name, right? And and my mom Dukes was mad when I put this screen name out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was the famous 10473 Dominican X.
Nah, I remember you. I remember Miles, Emero Miles Morales. That was his name. Mexican American dude. Yeah, that mean he's getting to. I was the ones going back and forth. You think me and Kim? This is back in 2000.
Damn.
Yeah. I have a history of Ramon. Yes, I was on mi gente, and it was always that racist Mexican American dude coming here saying bad things about Latinos from the Caribbean and also African American people. And I was the one exposing the Afro Mexican stuff on Mi Gente. Yes, that was me.
I remember you, and it's funny because and it's funny because I used when it was Mi Gente chat, right? I was the famous 104.73 Dominican X on Black Planet and on how shall I say, and on Mi Gente. My mom was like, "Why the heck you went up and put 104.73? Don't you know that's a zip code?" Okay, but nobody's really gonna go around and find me because I don't put my real name. What I used to like was when we used to code, we used to put on the reggaeton songs and the hip hop songs that we liked on
a profile.
And
yes, I miss the days.
And then on top of it, there was a guy, right? That I'm gonna say that I was anti. Okay, I'm not before I get banned or anything like that. At the time, right? Because I'm more tolerant now. I was anti Skittle. You know what I'm trying to say? If you know what I mean.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I was anti Skittle, and there was a guy who was from the Skittle community, right? So this guy who was from the Skittle community was like, yo, he was talking about how he was and everything like that, and then he started talking all nasty and stuff. I'm like, yo, bro, this is not the chat for that. We don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we had like a discussion one day about all of the other thing, STDs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I mean, remind you, it was like, who was the first to bring it right there? I was like, okay, in order for if it was the Skittle disease, right? HIV/AIDS, right? And it was like, and there was like, these guys went in and they was going in. Remind you, this is before all these guys who think that they're tough on the internet. They're not us, because you and I, Zacharias, we're the progenitors of this.
Right.
Believe it or not, we are. It's to the point that if we were to mention AOL hosies, I'm just putting it out there. And remember AOL hosies, right? Anybody?
I remember AOL. I don't know whose hose it is. I don't know what that.
No. All right. It was a site called AOL Hose, right? That was like in the East Coast and West Coast or whatever, right? So anybody who had AOL, right, and anybody who was exposed as what we call in current days a thought, right?
Them hoes used to be on. They used to go on my DM and try. Damn, they still do to this day.
Before Instagram, before Facebook. So anybody that went up and got a female or a female gave it up, there was a website called AOL Hose that they showed their screen name and everything like that. And 9 times out of 10, you could actually have a female that you could have fun with 9 times out of 10. We're talking about early 2000 till like maybe 2005ish when AOL was the bomb. But then everybody started having Hotmail and Yahoo and everything like that, and AOL just went flat after DSL came on.
Both of them did. Both Yahoo and AOL and Yahoo was the bomb. We didn't need no MySpace, no Facebook. But when they started getting the media companies, MySpace, I think, bashed AOL and Yahoo. MySpace.
And then on top of it, it was not only that, Because remember when everybody was on 56K and that was like the highest modem you could actually have, and then
Yeah,
after a while,
I remember that. I remember that
people
shit.
started using DSL. People started using DSL, and it's now that everybody could have a hotspot nowadays. You see how far we actually advanced.
Yep. I don't need
Yep.
no Wi-Fi no more. And I old them. Have a hotspot. Joe Biden. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, like, for example, I had like in 2013, I had like clear something or whatever, right? It was like with the green button and everything. So when I had clear or whatever, right? And I used to pay like maybe 50 a month or stuff like that. I had like really my own internet. But then after my mom passed and all this other stuff started happening, I didn't really see the point of paying for that Wi-Fi. I mean, now I got FiOS and everything, but it's just to the point that like now, right? Like back in the day, I'm talking about 2007, 2008. You had to when DSL was first started, you had to have all these cords and everything like that. It was annoying.
Yes. It was annoying. And I worked at Everyone's Internet back in 2000 and back in 99. I did a temp job at Everyone's Internet, and yeah, trust me, you need to call for your password. I was in the call center, and they literally would give the caller the password, and I'm like, why y'all do that? Hello? Oh,
Yeah, I just had to close the door because somebody was in.
yeah. It was Everyone's Internet was a internet company, and I worked there for a temp agency back in '99 after I turned 20. Yeah, so I worked there through a temp agency, and I remember you had to. I mean, I didn't stay there longer because I couldn't. Go, no, I didn't. I wasn't. I was doing everything right. Go to work on time and everything. Come back from break and everything, but I didn't catch up with the program because they thought it easy to learn. But like, no, I'm trying my best. You know what I'm saying? And I liked the job. It was more relaxed. More, I thought you supposed to dress nice. No, you could just casual and just come in the morning time. But no, my confidence was not good because of my situation with my family, going through a toxic situation, trying to get the hell out of them, away from them, and they just told my case case manager from the state and the job coach that I had to go, and I was upset. Like, man, I came on time and everything. Why they won't let me work here? But yeah, I remember they used to call for internet problems, and literally the people would actually it was a call center, give the password to the customer service rep, and I would hear the password and I'm like, whoa, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? This is back in '99, and I like, why y'all do that? So, and I remember because it was very laid back, and I miss days. Well, actually, one of my homeboys was a former cop, Latino dude. He was cool as cool brother. He went over George them type, but he was cool Latino dude, Mexican American dude. I spoke Spanish. She didn't speak Spanish. Yeah, he said I don't forget those days. And yeah, but at the same time, he at the everyone in there, yeah, you had to have all bunch of cords in the you couldn't have a laptop. You had to have those old computers. I don't forget them doggone days. Woo! Compact computers.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't forget those days, man. We advanced.
I know, right?
The modems, all that stuff, the floppy disk.
Yeah, I know. I used to hate those floppy disks, man.
I love mine.
I did. No. The ones that I hated was the ones in the early 90s. The ones that was super sensitive.
Yeah.
And it was just pure crap.
So I had those. I had
I
a
did
floppy
not like
disk
those. Yeah.
adapter after I won my case, and before I got evicted, I bought me a floppy disk adapter so I can go through my files I had in Job Corps. You know what I'm saying? And all through my resume, everything that I did, and it would not let me go because that floppy disk was, I guess, something happened to it, and I had a lot of information on there. Career stuff, stuff I can, it's still, I can probably use it in a job and stuff. Like, damn. So I use
Yeah.
those new discs. We call those USB. No USB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
flash drives.
the flash drive. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that was the first time I saw that back in 2006 because I took computer class in El Paso Community College from job when I was staying in Job Corps, and they quarter those hours and they told us that we using net now. We're not gonna be 9-10. We use no floppy. And I'm like, huh? I just used a floppy for my doggone Job Corps. What the heck? It's like, oh, I miss some days, man. Man, there's some good old days. I'm sorry, it was still difficult, but it was some good old days. And you was arguing with Miles too, Mondo.
I wasn't, but I remember I was arguing with several, with several Mexican racists that was telling me that they wanted to nuclear bomb the Dominican Republic because of they
Because of
felt
black
that
DNA.
exactly.
And I would tell their ass they had black DNA too. They ain't like that. They ain't
Well,
like that. I would tell their ass that it was.
Well, you want
And I would
to know you want to know something that you could tell the Hispano taps that they would not like either.
What's up?
Whenever you tell a Hispano tap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this not has to do with skin color, but say this: if you're so white, right? Why? How come you don't have yellow or red hair? And then they'll get mad.
Blonde. I got what you're saying.
Or just say this: if you're
Green
so
eyes.
white, right? If you're so white, right? Why do you have black hair for? Right?
Right.
Well, something about you is black.
Indigenous, black indigenous, exactly. And they back in the days, it was not claiming Spain. It was claiming indigenous. They said it was not Latino or Hispanic, it was Chicano. And I'm not saying no with Mexican excellence. I'm not saying her, but she could move. But she was cool. She's cool. One of radical Latino. If I know she's cool, she's not anti-black. But the ones that in those platforms back in 19, like right after Jennifer Lopez became famous, and Selena, and they start showing more Puerto Ricans over Mexicans. I don't forget the dark days. That's when they start saying, I'm not Latino, I'm Hispanic, I'm Chicano, I'm indigenous. This is back in the early 2000s. And I'm like, well, you got Spanish in you. I can't define who racial police, because I don't know about racial police my identity either. But at least I'm accurate. And I'm not gonna say I'm Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Because of the first Jews were black. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go around saying that. No offense to the Hebrew cult Israelites. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's no different than them. So the Mexican, I thought it was all racist Latino because I thought they couldn't pass as white. So they look more indigenous and still racially ambiguous, okay, and have black ancestry too, but they'll start bashing Caribbean Latinos. And not knowing that Caribbean Latinos open the door for other Latinos. If it wasn't for the Puerto Ricans in New York, you know what I'm saying, Dominicans too, there wouldn't be no Mexican rapper. To be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, I'm just gonna say something, and it might not. A lot of people may not know this, but I'm just gonna put it out there. The first Latino rapper ever was not Puerto Rican nor Dominican, contrary to popular belief. It was actually a Cuban.
You talking about Melays?
Yeah, you're talking about Melo Mayonnaise. I remember
that was
hearing
1990s. Yeah, but the first Cuban
in the 80s. It was still the 80s when he came out with Mentirosa.
With,
I mean,
Mentirosa.
that was
89,
expanded.
1990. I don't forget, I was in fourth and fifth grade because it was a Mexican American girl singing that song, and the white lady who had dark hair. Everybody thinks she's Latina, but she's a white lady. She's Greek. Can we say it? Okay, her married name, because she's no longer married to that man anymore. Miss Penny. Miss Penny was in fifth grade. I don't want to ever hear. She cool, white lady. Don't get wrong, but the Karen came out. Y'all, how dare y'all sing that song and rap that song? Because they was actually singing the song. I forget that. No, Miss Penny ain't no Karen, but she said, "Y'all, I don't ever want to hear y'all sing that song again." Because you know what I'm saying?
Did she tell you why not? Why you gonna do that song?
No, not me. It was the Mexican American girls. Most Latinos in our school were mostly Mexican. We had a Puerto Rican chick that was there. I thought she was Mexican all these years, but she started came when she was Puerto Rican back in high school. Went to kindergarten and everything with her. And I thought she hang around a lot of Mexican people. But anyway, no, it was mostly Mexican American folks, and they sounded Mellow. He was the famous Latino rapper in the late 90s, late 80s and 90s, try to say. But no, he wasn't the first. Because you had Puerto Ricans that was in that Kush Groove moment, besides Sheeta E being part Mexican and part African American.
I'm saying as the one that's actually started as a rapper, because within the hip hop culture, yeah, there have been Latinos. I'm not confront, but as far
Fat Boys,
but as far as a guy who actually rapped, you have to give that kudos to Mellow Man Ace,
right?
And then after that, his brother Sendog was in Cypress Hills.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That was Sendog. That's his brother.
You know that complexion, and the big dude with the bald head. That's him.
Yeah.
No. Be real.
No. That's Ace's brother.
No. You're don't confuse Be Real with Sendog. Sendog is the shorter guy who's brown. That's the guy. That's Sendog.
Brother. He's Latino. He's Afro Latino. He camera complexion.
Yeah. Talking about Cypress Hill.
I'm talking about Cypress Hill. Yeah, I'm talking. He wore Afro sometimes.
We're talking about Sendog. Yeah. Because
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because Sendog.
Yeah, right? But we're not talking about the DJ or Be Real.
No, I ain't saying about Be Real. I said the dude hang around. Escúchame. I said the dude hang around with Be Real. I know Be Real Mexican and Cuban. I'm not talking about him. The Latino dude who's Mexican Cuban, like Camila Cabello. Not him. I'm talking about the dude that look more. He like a little darker version of Kimo Blaskin. You know who Kimo Blaskin is? He part Mexican, part African. Yeah, he's from Delinquent Habits. He has a big afro. He a little darker than him. He about me and Armando and our complexion. He wear afro. He had kinky hair. He don't have a loose cut. He has kinky. But he's Latino. He's Afro Latino. He hang around. Be Real. That's what I'm talking about. Send out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's Mellow Man's brother. Are you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because they're both out of the California area.
I know they're from bro. I listen to Cypress Hill.
Well, what happened was they were saying that both of them, I guess, were originally from Cuba, or they came from Cuban parents, or whatever the case may be. So, since Mellow Man Ace, he was actually talking about how he came out first, I guess, as with Mentirosa and everything. And then he was talking about, like, in the little documentary, on how he and his brother and Be Real, they was actually down with the streets, because Be Real and Sendog, they're actually down with the 89 Swans. And
is a gang?
Yeah.
Sendog, they was beefing with West Coast connection. Remember that?
Yeah, but you see, it was a little bit thing, because this was way before Be Real was Be Real and Sendog was Sendog. So
okay, they weren't famous.
So before they were famous, they're actually of the 89 family Swans, the red team. So
my bad.
Yeah. So while a lot of people could actually have talking about, oh yeah, these, that, and the third on who was the first red team rappers, I'm going to tell you something which a lot of people have overlooked. The first red team rappers were not even black nor Hispanic.
They were Jewish.
No, they were actually Samoan.
There's a lot of Samoans in California. So who is he?
All
Don't say
right.
the Rock is African American Samoan. Don't say him. Afro Canadian, should I say?
Yeah.
Ain't the Rock. I'm
Nah,
joking with you.
but if anybody who knows anything about hip hop, everybody has to pay respects to the Booyah tribe.
Okay, the Booyah tribe. Okay.
The Booyah tribe was actually the first Samoans who actually claimed the red team, and they still do to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the first one to actually go to Japan and spit their music. It's like they have like, how should I say? They have like a core fan base just alone in California and in Japan, to the point
Mm-hmm.
that they even been in videos. Eminem even had to pay them for protection when certain people were trying to get at him. The Booyah tribe is like, you can't not mess with anybody in the West Coast. Screw what Whack 100 has to say. You have to go through them because because even to this day they are the most respected guys out, like I guess in the LA area, whatever the case may be. But they're the most respected, even though because of their affiliation or whatever the case may be. All gangs respect them because they're not because streetwise, business wise, whatever the case, they're nothing to be messed with.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people in the East Coast, they want to try to give reference to, oh, Suge Knight was breaking down everything. That could have been true, but when it came to the Booyah tribe, nobody was messing up with them either.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
I never heard of Booyah tribe. I gotta look them up. But
All
only
right. I'll give you something to I'll give you something to remember. Remember when the game and Jim Jones, right? This is like around maybe
2000.
2006, 2006 ish or whatever, right? And they
And
came out
also
with
too,
certified gangster.
they both Latino. You know, right?
Yeah,
Let
I
me cut
know.
you off. Yeah, but one's Mexican, one's Puerto Rican. Talking about the game and Jim Jones. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when they first came out with certified gangster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually see all the OGs and everything like that, if you see a guy with with pigtails that he looks not without the mix or anything like that, and his name I guess is Gangster Red, right? Within that video, that is the that is that is one of the famous Booyah tribe.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So, and then another Booyah tribe member, I think he actually starred in a movie or something like that. They call him Cobra.
Okay.
So,
This is in
let's say
2000s.
2000, yeah.
Okay,
So,
not when it was coming up. Okay, I thought the OG the rap was like back in the 1990s and then the 80s.
I
You
mean,
know, I thought
they've been along that long, but the thing is, though,
okay.
when we're talking about as far as them making appearances and everything like that, a lot of people in the East Coast does not even know who they are, but I know because I actually follow up on them. I was actually following one of them on my Instagram before he got hacked. So
Oh dang.
yeah, but that's another story.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of yeah, it's a lot of rappers out there that's not known. But I wasn't discredit Mellow Man Ace. I would never do that because that's Latino history right there in hip hop. I'm just
exactly.
saying the ones in the before him, the guys from Fat Boys and the people in the 1970s, that people with crazy legs and all them. That's what I'm trying to say when because back in the day, I mean now I mean it's more different because they are like the Latino rappers, whether they Mexican or Puerto Rican. Now that they get especially this whole Tariq Nasheed and American Cholo, they definitely getting along. But back in 2000s, right after Jennifer Lopez Latin explosion thing, and there
Yeah,
is some truth to that because what they argument was that they didn't get reputation in the 1990s. I mean 1990s. I mean 19 in the 2000s. Because you had your Frankie J who raps. I mean who does R&B, who's Mexican American. You had Baby Bash who's part Mexican, part white. You know, Fred with SPM. You know, you had Player Skills. They Venezuelan. They not Mexican. They from Dallas, where this dude lives. Talking about Ramon. But no the truth of the matter is they did show more Caribbean Latinos over Mexican American rappers and singers. And I remember like that's not right. You know what I'm saying? Because show all Latinos. Don't just show the Caribbean. Because I used to argue with people, oh, they have black blood. They don't have I like, hold on, y'all forgot Afro Mexicans do have excuse me, like get some number of people who don't know that. Thank God people know that now. Thank the Lord. But back in the day, people were very ignorant about the Mexican, Afro Mexican bloodline. And but they'll put Selena, you know, she's deceased, God rest her soul. But they would not mention anybody else. And like I say, is that's what the argument was, that the African American people in the hip hop game would show more favoritism towards the Caribbean Latinos than the Mexican rappers. But Samaya Reese, who's just a Salvadoran like Sweetie Blue, she went to left LA, New York. She was on Love and Hip Hop. I don't even like the reality shows. She was on there. She was one of the first, her and Jim Jones and Olivia. Don't forget that Olivia's from GUN's Park Cuban. They were the first Latinos in Fabulous Baby Mama on the show. You know, when the Love Hip Hop started. I don't forget that in them days. So, and I watched it not because it's just a drama, because I like the drama, but I like the fact that these are artists back when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying? That we ain't heard for a while, and they went somewhere and they got Mona Scott gave them an opportunity to be on the show. You know, that's why I liked about Love and Hip Hop. They had artists that we listened to, you know, some that was even we was teenagers, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't heard nothing from them. And they found it. But Samaya Reese, she left LA, went to live in an attic in New York, and she went for Atlanta. And I was always tell Latino people, who especially the Mexican ones here in Houston, like
yo, it's funny that you mentioned Samaya Reese, right?
I love her.
Yeah, because he actually did a track with an artist in the Dominican Republic by the name of Apis Consciente.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, though, it was like I remember me and her. We got into an argument. It was a mini argument. It was a mini argument, but she's cool though. You know what I mean? She's a good artist.
And she looking good too.
We got into a mini argument because I went up and I dissed Charlemagne the Fraud on Twitter.
Good. Can't stand him.
Yes. So me and him, we actually got into it and everything of that nature. I was like, who the heck are you to go and be dissing Wale? And then they went up and they fired him right from I guess the Philadelphia station. He's like, I got a career and everything like that. So I went up and I dissed him. I was like, yeah, where's your career now, you idiot? That got him so mad. I'm even blocked to this day by Charlemagne. It was that hurtful.
Well, they cancel his ass now. A sister on TikTok said that they canceled the Breakfast Club. It's not funny. The Breakfast Club is not. They crazy. Angela Yee and all them and DJ Envy. They not like I was on YouTube. It's this. Okay, y'all think I diss certain YouTube when I missed my channel. I wish I had the receipts. I used to diss the hell out of Charlemagne. Charlemagne, Charlinda, Shaquisha.
No,
I
my understanding. Yeah, but
Now, now, now,
so
yeah,
they don't
go.
have they don't have the channel, they don't have the show because I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen
I don't really
anything
care about it's
about
like
the Breakfast Club. I haven't seen
it's like
anything
to
in
me
a
is
while.
this, right? I'm gonna break it down why I don't like Charlemagne the Fraud. He ain't see the God, he's nothing. I don't he's not a god to me at all.
Of
The
course, you're
only
not a
god
god.
is exactly. Now, as I'm saying, Charlemagne the Fraud, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the first time you have to remember, this is like around 2008. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when he was Wendy Williams apprentice or whatever the case may be, right? And yeah,
Intern. I know about
yeah,
that.
exactly, when she had her show. So therefore he went up and act like he was funny and stuff like that. But your homie Andrew Dice Clay just murdered him. Andrew Dice Clay,
What? I
yes.
remember
Yeah,
he got canceled a long time ago. Yeah.
yeah. But this is when he was like still hot. And, he was going with that Fonzie act or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case. Now, whatever the case, so Andrew Dice Clay went up to Wendy Williams and stuff. And Charlemagne being the cornball that he is. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all this stuff. Yo, your boy Andrew Dice Clay just murdered this dude. Just was was making a whole bunch of jokes about Charlemagne. And Charlemagne couldn't do nothing.
What? I
Yes.
did not know that. I thought Andrew Dice Clay went somewhere and we ain't heard him in a long time. Go
Oh
ahead.
nah, because this I'm talking about like around
Two
07 and
thousands.
08. Yeah, when Wendy Williams didn't even have that talk show yet.
Shit, before she got fired.
Right.
Right. I know all
So
about that. She was on the radio, and like Lil Kim talked about everybody talked about in their songs about Wendy Williams, like who is Wendy Williams, and then that's when they talked about her until we saw the video on YouTube about her bashing Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston cussed her ass out. Go ahead. I don't forget all
yeah.
this shit. Go ahead.
Nah, but I'll give you I'll give you a solid 2.
Mm.
I'll give you some info, and I'm telling you this is what I heard while I was a kid. Angie Martinez is the most gangster Latina ever.
She
And
is. I know what. I know.
No. I'm gonna
She
tell
punched in
you.
her face.
No. I heard
Okay,
this
go ahead.
joint
Okay,
when I was
go
a
ahead, bro.
kid. When I was a kid, I'll say I was like maybe 14 to 15, whatever the case may be. I used to listen to Hot 97 religiously.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, Wendy Williams was talking and everything like that, and she let go that Angie and Q-Tip had a relationship. Angie ran up while Wendy was talking, and Wendy
And
could say,
punched
"Oh
her.
yeah," and Wendy would say that Angie choked her and everything like that. But all you heard in the air was punch noises to this woman's face, like
Because she
bam,
told people.
bam,
Yeah, I know the
bam.
story. She
Just
lied and told
because,
people that Q-Tip was gay.
no, not even
No, it's in
the
her memoir. It's in her
yeah,
memoir.
no,
It's in her
but
book.
I'm telling you of what I heard. She didn't even say anything about Q-Tip being gay. I'm telling you the real. She went up
Okay.
and revealed that Angie and Q-Tip were dating. That's why Angie got mad, ran up to Wendy Williams and beat her behind live on air.
Okay. Well, I'm confused.
The incident where Wendy Williams got fired from Hot 97 is because she revealed
Bill
that
Cosby.
no, she revealed that Diddy was gay. She had
Yeah, I know that
pictures.
part. I know that part.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the.
she had pictures
that went up and revealed, oh yeah, I guess Puff Daddy in precarious positions. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say. What Puff Daddy did was he went up and called Hot 97. He was like, yo,
he got a fire.
exactly.
It's Carcino on YouTube reveal that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's no, I'm talking about no, but on Angie's Martina memoir, there was people talking about on the blogs back when I was on YouTube. I missed those days. If I'm mad at the folks got my channel now. I think either Love and T talked about this too years ago. It was back before me and the Arcade situation. She said Angie Martinez said in her memoir that she came in and punched Wendy because Q-Tip and her were dating, and Wendy was going around telling people that he was gay. So, like the real woman she is, because that's a real woman to go fight another woman who tell rumors about her man being gay and it's not true. Okay, Angie punched her in the face. So that's why,
Right.
at my job, we all talk about that. And people, all the sisters who don't like Wendy Williams, they're laughing, defending Angie Martinez because she deserved it. I'm sorry, she deserved it. And
I mean, me personally, this one thing I gotta say, and I've been saying this for a whole bunch of years, and we as men could actually say this. You know, there's a lot of causes for erectile dysfunctions, right?
mm-hmm.
You know what some of the causes are? One is Ann Coulter, and the other one is Wendy Williams' face.
Well, if they've been doing the drugs, that's the reason why. Because I do believe, because Wendy Williams looked good when she was with Biggie. I know her dating Biggie, that's why her and Lil' Kim don't get along. When she looked all natural, but she had them drugs. While she's making fun of Whitney Houston, I was telling people on social media, I don't feel sorry for her. People laughing like, "Oh, y'all pray for Wendy." No, that's why she cried 10 years ago when Whitney Houston died, because she was out there making fun of Whitney and telling all the secrets. I bet Pat Houston was telling everything about, you know what I'm saying? Because Pat Houston's sister-in-law that was doing dirt in Whitney Houston's family, and but no, Wendy Williams, I believe the cocaine dealer put some testosterone in her drugs, because everybody thinks she's a man, and she's not. She's all woman.
Now, you want to know something, bro?
But
all jokes aside, I met her drug dealer.
Oh my bad. I'm talking to
no.
Okay.
No, it gets interesting.
Okay.
I know. I used to know. I used to work with a drug dealer. You know what I mean? Her drug dealer, right? I'm not gonna put her former drug dealer. I'm not gonna put his name right there because that's my OG.
Okay.
Happens to be her ex-husband's cousin. You know the guy that she currently divorced from?
Kelvin, not Kevin Hunter. I know you're talking about
Kevin Hunter. Yes,
that's
Kevin. That's Kevin Hunter's first cousin. Used to go around and he went up and told me himself, like, "Yo, Wendy Williams, that was my number one customer." When it came to
okay,
that.
well, I wasn't trying to make a room about the fact that, because people say that she like a man, and there are cocaine addicts and other drug addicts, so you assume that somebody will lace something in the drugs to deform their body, right? Because there's no in hell. No, and it's not just her. People been saying that some women like men, and they are women. They're not transgender, but you can tell somebody is lacing something else besides a drug to make them. Vanity and Mary J. Blige and Whitney Houston look like women, and they was on cocaine. You see what I'm saying? They didn't look like no damn man. So that means somebody's putting testosterone in there. That's why I say that. I don't want to get in no deep situations. Just that it's, I'm an educated guessing person, okay? But if someone looked at back in the day, because we see celebrities all the time, and they've been on drugs and cocaine back in the 60s in the Woodstock era, and they're not looking like no man. Now, one particular person I would say that's looking terrible is Madonna. I'm sorry. I love me some Madonna, but she's looking damn terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because the surgeries are coming apart, are falling apart on her. So she's just not looking too good these days. Because
No, I think she's on
it's
drugs.
because
I'm
of all the
sorry.
Botox or whatever it is that she injected in her face. Is that thing is all
No,
falling
I
apart.
think she on them drugs. No,
No,
I know she had
necessarily.
surgery, but she on them drugs. I'm sorry.
No, I don't. Well, I don't know about drugs, but
No, her dealer get putting
the
some stuff in
no, but
her.
the injections. It's obvious that she got a whole bunch of injections in her
It's a
face.
I love me some Madonna. We both Leos. I love her death, but no, I believe God forgive me. That's she on them drugs because she did admit on one of her interviews. Because for years she denied being on drugs. Madonna denied for years until she came on the interview.
Look, she now is talking about like she's supposed to be bisexual or something.
She's bisexual.
As if there was something new to it. As if there was something new to it. Us that are Generation X, we have been knowing that she swings both ways for decades. We have been
She
knowing
kissed
that.
Britney Spears. In that sex book, she had threesome with what's the name, Neil McCampbell and Big Daddy Kane. I saw a sex book, and she urinate on her like R. Kelly.
And then Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, she did it, and Sandra Bernard. Sandra Bernard on Roseanne show. She came on. I was a little kid, so I ain't know until they showed later on as an adult. Then when she had a dark brown hair, her natural roots before she did Like a Prayer, she was on Letterman, and she admitted that Sean Penn and Sandra Bernard had a threesome on national TV.
Yeah,
now,
I mean,
back in '88.
she's saying that now, like she's into girls, she's being bisexual, trying to be cool with the rainbow crowd, but she's always been a gay icon. She's always been
bisexual.
Yeah, she's been a gay icon forever. I mean, why does she have to do that extra shit for things that she's already been recognized for? She's always been a gay icon.
Because I'm going to break it down to you, Ramon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She needing attention. She needs attention. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, because Leos, we like attention. We both have birthdays around each other.
Well,
we like attention.
Yeah, I'm a Leo myself, and I call myself introvert for a reason. I don't need attention like that, but I understand that there are people that need attention.
You more the leader. You more the leader. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yo, you two guys are having my wife laughing right now.
Yeah, shout out to your lady, man. Shout out to your lady. She's having a good laugh. I mean, all definitely. Laughing is a good thing, but when it comes, but that's the thing. When it comes to Madonna, why is that supposed to be surprising to begin with? I mean, she's doing that to draw attention to herself. I mean,
she
like
shout out to the
she on drugs.
How you doing?
Hey, Kichel, hit the link. Come on now.
She on them drugs, y'all. I'm not lying. She on them drugs, and I believe her dealer is putting some poison besides the drugs she requested. And so I don't want Wendy Williams' drug dealer to come after me. Okay, I just educational guess is that if someone look the form, it's not just the drug they get. You know when people say they weed with crack. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want a drug to come after me. It's because I grew up in the '80s and there were people on cocaine and they ain't look like the opposite sex.
Right.
But if you tell everybody a business and don't care and working for the white folks, I'm calling like it is, of course. And I ain't say all white people were the racist one. You know what I'm saying? I know that she mostly focused on African celebrities and telling all their business. There's certain business you can tell if it's a moral issue or something, or maybe a little gossipy, but to go extreme and make a career off it. Yeah, but when Roseanne came on her show, she went to a little color girl. I'm sorry, she went to little color girl in 1960 somewhere and sit in the back of the bus before Rosa Parks say no more. Okay, when Roseanne came on her show, now when was it dark skin sister's name? Rosa, Trump's former friend, when she checked her on her show, but when Roseanne came on there. Ooh, you should see Rose
Mhm.
Wendy Williams act like a little like she back in 1950s and 60s. Uh, you know, sitting in the back of the bus on her damn show. And I said,
Mm,
she working for them folks. So
mm,
I don't want Kevin's family come after me. Okay, I'm just saying that when I can tell somebody putting something in them doggone, because people saying that's a man. I said no. I would tell people, I said somebody she buying that stuff is putting something in her to make her look that way because she's telling all the business. Because Whitney Houston and her ex love child beat her ass. Diddy got her fired. Benji Martinez punched her in the face, talking about Q-Tip being gay, he not gay, you know what I'm saying, being some messy, you know, Bill Cosby almost had her fired. You know, don't get wrong, he
mhm.
should go to jail when he did. Don't get wrong. But I'm just saying, Bill Cosby, no, that's why I believe that he is guilty, because when she brought the story years ago, they called the real show Bill Cosby Corporation and shut that shut right there. So that's why I know that she working for them folks. And she on Fox News and she's on BT. Okay.
Mm.
She working for
Well,
them
Yeah.
folks. She working for them folks. So I know that you. I mean, I could be gossipy too, but you have to be careful of being gossipy. You just can't be out there just doing it. And she normally don't talk about white celebrities like that. She mentioned Charlie Sheen being bisexual and all. He got the AIDS and stuff, but no, she don't go hardcore on white celebrities. You know, he's Hispanic, but you know what I'm saying. She go after actors, city people. Go after Mariah Carey,
Mhm.
Whitney Houston. You know, I don't know if she went after Michael Jackson. Oh, she did talk about back when she did. She sure did. And when she fell on Halloween in that Liberty outfit on, Paris Jackson was laughing. Michael Jackson's daughter, and you know, Paris Jackson witch too. She started doing some witchcraft too. I think she put a spell on that woman.
mhm.
I think Paris
Yo,
Jackson put that spell on.
guys,
Yeah,
I'm
well, I
about
don't know
to
about
wrap
Paris.
it up.
All right.
I'm about to
Okay.
wrap it up and everything. So, any closing statements about anything? I'll go with you first, Ramon.
Well, I mean, a lot of things were said, and that last part that we were talking about is like there is nothing to be surprised about when it comes to Madonna, when it comes to Whitney Houston. Such a great voice, and she fucked it up with the drugs and the snorting and all of that, and getting with that bookie of a husband that she couldn't let go of. So those of us that remember, that are old enough to remember back in the day, I mean, how she basically threw it all away because she needed to be involved with Bobby Brown, who was into the bullshit. I mean, but that's how she wanted it. That's how she liked it, and it was extremely unfortunate that we ended up losing her. She was one of the greatest talents when it comes to singing. Of us that are Generation X, we were spoiled by having her, being able to have her around. So, and everybody that is not Gen X, they can go back and listen to the songs, to the records. But
Yes,
the,
I miss
the
Whitney
last
Houston.
thing, but one last thing, uh, Armando, I appreciate you letting me on the panel. I look forward to the next one. Let's see what we can talk about again. I don't know if I'm going to be doing something tomorrow, but I appreciate you letting me on the panel, and that's it for me.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Anything with you, Zacharias?
I gotta clear something up about Whitney
All right.
Houston's drug habit came from her brother. Michael Houston, one of the same complexion as me and her. Not the dog skin, but that's married to Pat Houston. It came from Michael Houston because he came on Oprah and admitted. When Oprah
Right.
interviewed him,
I
yeah,
remember
it
that
was.
day.
Yeah, it wasn't Bible. They said they were already on drugs and put two together. That's what caused the whole thing. And they said Clyde Davis broke them up. Jack Wright brought that up. I love it some Jack Wright. But yeah, no, don't have your homeboy come after me. I wasn't trying to make no
Man,
rules.
man, if anything, they're gonna try to come after me. But other than that, it's a
I
known fact. Like, it's a New York City fact. So therefore,
okay.
it's like when anybody could go around and say anything, what the Kevin Hunter is gonna do? Is I love Wendy Williams. No, he left that chick. So I'm like, come on. Like it's
No,
evident
it's
right
just
there.
having an educational guess because the idea that if she taking one drug and we seen cocaine people on that stuff like Vandy looked beautiful after cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Vandy from Vandy
Yeah.
6 and Whitney Houston when she got off from there and Mary J. Blige, they all look like natural women. But we see
Right.
like I'm sorry, and I know you gotta go Auntie Fee. Remember Auntie Fee? She was a
Yeah.
crackhead and she looked
Right.
normal. But when she got off that
Right.
crack, she looked deformed. I'm sorry. So that means
Right.
somebody putting something in them drugs. So I don't want nobody come after me. I ain't no, I know it's something else. But that's like I said. I don't want. Don't you have nobody come after me?
Nah. If
I'm
anything,
educational guess.
nobody really cares because at the end of the day, if you really look at it, a what nobody cares about Wendy Williams. I hate to say
Okay.
it.
Okay. I just
For
want to make sure it's a small world. I ain't know it's small. I mean,
real though. I'm just
like
saying.
I met people
I'm
from
just saying.
Death
I'm
Row.
just saying
I'm
what I
not-
know.
I
So
met
as long as
people.
I ain't mention no names, I'm good.
Right. Okay.
The second part is that everybody thinks that okay, everybody loves Wendy Williams. No, let's put it like this: Wendy Williams, with all that said and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
In one way, I do feel for her. I'm just gonna say this as a human because she lost her mother and
Mm-hmm.
she's going through her whatever. But in the other case, I don't really feel sad because who told you that it's cool to go around and tell everybody's business? That's like, for example, if I meet Ramon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, me and Ramon were friends for like 500 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know, I meet you. They was like, oh yeah, Ramon is such a good guy. And last week, me and Ramon, we actually had some good old drinks and everything like that. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Like,
Being messy.
you can't trust nothing with that broad. And
No,
okay,
but she working for the folks. I know why she did that. She working for the folks. In the industry,
exactly.
they need somebody to make bad press, like TMZ. The white Jews got their own TMZ when he was after OJ Simpson of all place. For him, besides him, Geraldo, there was after OJ. They own TMZ and also connected with the Kardashian. That's why they was trying to throw Travis. No, Travis got getting criticized for Astroworld, but the Kardashian was behind it. My point is that anytime an accuracy or in some of color, they need bad press. Someone from the community or a white person to do it. And she was an agent. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
I actually believe that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know that.
and now this is what I'm going to say.
Mhm.
It was nice talking to you, gentlemen, tonight. And this was a very interesting stream. So, I'm going to have my own stream on Friday. It's not going to be open topics. It's going to be Historias Urbanas con Don Armando. So, therefore, I'm going to try to interview certain people who are within the Dominican urban movement in the Dominican Republic and in the United States. So stay tuned for that if y'all can. And with that said, good night. I'm about to knock out because I have to go to work. So
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
me too. You guys have a good one. We'll talk later on. All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, you want? I want to say something. You gotta go tomorrow backstage. You gonna be up
All
backstage?
Right. Well,
Huh?
I'm not gonna do a backstage tonight, so
No,
I'm
I
about
gotta
to
say
go.
some few things on backstage. I gotta say some few things.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do a backstage, but if anything, you know where to hit me up, Zach. So
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
On my other account, me and the people have an issue. So the other account, I was gonna tell you the account that I'm on that you know about, and I gotta tell you what's going on there. I keep brief because I gotta do my schoolwork that old couple days. That's why. Tonight I can't stay too long, but I got to. I'll be brief with it. Yeah. So I'll be backstage.
All right. See you later.
All right.
All right.